So here we go.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?
And now, shooting the shit with Dave and Ellen.
Why are you laughing at
I'm
me?
laughing because you can hear you slurping your miso soup.
My soup.
I
Of
did
course-
request that. So.
Of course, I'm eating while talking about poop. But
It's
what
okay.
else is
We
new?
just become so numb to it that doesn't even, it's
Yeah.
kind of part of the...
I'm not touching poop.
Yeah, well, it's not on the table or anything. Or maybe it is. You can't tell.
Ooh.
Those that are listening.
Ooh, secrets.
So,
Hey, everybody. It's Shooting the Shit with
Dave,
and Ellen. And this is episode 36, but it will always be number 2 to us.
number 2.
Our
One and
favorite
only.
number.
And we have a special guest with us
We
today.
do. Greg Dubin.
Thanks for coming on.
Yo,
yeah, we
thanks
heard
for
you
having
had
me.
some famous stories. So we've never actually met this person before. They were suggested by Alyssa Abramson, who is our nutritionalist, who was on many episodes ago. Listen to it; it was good.
Yeah, it was a fun one.
Yeah, it was.
Learned some awesome stuff about water, your poops, and nutrition. So
Yeah.
if you're into any of those things, check it out.
Nutrition is important.
But like every episode, we have to start with our check-in.
Yes, and we always check in with our guests first. So, Greg, how have your poops been recently?
My poops are pretty consistently good.
Nice.
Yeah. It's one of the most consistent things in my life.
It's always there for you.
Yeah. I'm good at it.
Nice.
And on the Bristol stool, how do they look?
Well, I'm looking at this thing, and I think I'm usually, my favorite one on here to do is type 1.
Oh, whoa. You looked at
That's-
pellets.
But it's rare. Yeah, because they're...
Why is it your favorite?
I don't know, because they just seem like they have everything. They're dense, right? Those are the ones that hit the water and just drop to the bottom.
That
and
might be a little
roll
bit of
down.
like constipation, though.
I don't get that though.
Oh.
So when I get this, it's like a bonus.
Oh.
Okay.
But I'm usually in the 3 to 4 range. Sometimes I hit a 5.
Well, that
3
seems
and
about-
4 is healthier.
Yeah.
That means you're drinking enough water. 4 means they're coming out real smooth.
I mean, there's always some 7s mixed in.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like,
We've all been there.
yeah, you're a human being, so we've all visited every type.
The
We've run
Rancid
down-
River.
We've done 1 through 7, so
It's a roller coaster.
The Rancid River is the one that I like to look at the most.
oh my god, I just know. I'm like, nope.
That's the one that doesn't digest as well. So you really knew what you ate that fucked your shit up.
Oh yeah.
There's like a piece of corn in there or
Yeah.
Here's the bill from the meal that you ordered.
flap of kale.
is in there.
Right.
The receipt.
Or the weirdest is
Fingernail.
when you
Yeah.
when you see stuff in there and you're like, I don't remember eating that.
Yeah.
When did I eat that?
There's hopes and dreams in there.
I can't stop looking at this. The Smooth Criminal is... What?
That's the one.
Is
That's
that the one where it's kind of
sausage. Like, yeah.
It's like it's supposed to be the best one because you're not pushing it out. It just literally comes like an animal in the woods.
Right.
You barely need to wipe.
barely need to wipe.
I make them all the time and they're like easy 10, 12 inches long.
Yeah. Ellen has magical shits.
It's because of all the insane supplements and stuff I'm on thanks to my Lyme disease. If you get Lyme disease and do all this shit too, you could have beautiful magical poops.
Let's go get some ticks.
Right?
Yeah, right. Fire Island, here we come.
Woo!
So Ellen, how your poop's been?
They've been pretty good, except for I think on the last episode I talked about how Pure for Men and magnesium is like the winning combination before I go to bed. But I just tried last night to not take my magnesium because the magnesium citrate or however you pronounce it, that helps you like poop and it brings like water to your colon to help you poop. And it also helps you to sleep. I think I was having like weird side effects where like my face was really, really hot because I think the brand I bought has like calcium and other stuff in it, and I just want the magnesium. So I'm just trying one day without it, and so far my face hasn't gotten really hot and weird tingles. But I have all kinds of problems, so God only knows.
It's like a laundry list.
Yeah.
Well.
So last night, instead of taking the magnesium, I took 2 Pure for Men and 2 Swiss Chris.
And that worked out?
I made a great shit this morning, so yes. But I was hoping I'd like a little bit more. It was kind of more of a type 5. Like, it was smooth.
Rough around the edges?
Yeah, it was a little bit loose on the edges. But yeah, I'm hoping I could make another one. Maybe during the podcast. The Swiss Chris
fingers
really
crossed,
kicks
right?
in.
What is this? First of all, I'm very impressed that you guys know your types without even glancing over the sheet.
It's been 35 episodes.
Yeah, but
We
still,
are
We should know them by
professionals.
now.
That's pretty good. But what are all these supplements that you're taking are these Pure for Men, and is this stuff that helps your poo?
Pure for Men is basically a fiber supplement.
Okay.
It has a bunch of stuff in it, like aloe, but it's got 2 types of fiber, insoluble and soluble. So it
modern
does,
Metamucil.
yeah, it kind of like binds and scrubs.
It's like sexy Metamucil for millennials.
I'm going to do this with a Sharpie, but
It's kind of got like
that's the sound that I grew up with my father.
Oh, with the
Still to this
Metamucil?
day, with
Yeah.
the Metamucil,
Yeah.
every day of his life.
Yeah, I mean that's basically what it is.
It's orange flavored, and he drinks it. Still,
The Pure for Men comes in a pill, and you could take 1 a day, you could take 10 a day, but it gives you the best number 4s because it pushes everything out but binds it together.
But the trick is you got to drink a bunch of water with it too,
Yeah.
because you wind up getting really bloated, which happened to me once, and it was not fun. But yeah, no, it works great, and
I'll try it.
it was geared for like gay men for like being ready for like
Take
getting
it
down.
now so you could take it later.
Yeah,
that's a great.
it's on the bottle.
slogan.
Their hashtag says #stay ready. But they have a Pure for Her, which is literally the exact same thing, except the capsule's a little bit smaller.
Mm-hmm.
They have like body scrubs. They have it's really one of the best companies,
Wow.
newer companies, but we're like big fans.
Yeah, listen to that episode, people, if you
Yeah,
haven't.
Lawrence
It was
from,
he killed. He was wonderful, and it's now one of my favorite supplements
Yeah.
to take.
Do
That's
they
great.
do they sell brushes, like ass brushes?
They don't, but
No,
they sell wipes.
They sell wipes. Like
wipes.
they come in
Yeah.
black too.
Yeah.
It's more like a style wipe.
I got into trouble with wipes because I started using them, and they're great. But then we had an issue with my landlord, like with the we had a big flood, and it was tons of those wipes. That was mine.
Yeah, you cannot flush the
Let me
wipes.
turn this off.
We talked
I
about
learned
that a
the hard
lot.
way. I almost got evicted.
You got evicted for flushing your
Well,
wipes?
She was like, "This thing's clogged up with wipes. What the hell's going on?" Wipes and
Yeah.
Q-tips. I was
Well,
like,
yeah,
"Oh,
you know,
I flush
yeah,
my
even-
Q-tips.
Oh,
I used to. I don't anymore.
okay. Yeah, you can't. I mean, like, yeah, the wipes have just wreaked havoc on sewer systems.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know
So-
that now, but
They
gotta
actually
get
were
some
looking
tissue.
into banning wipes in New York City. That's how
Yeah.
bad it is.
yeah. Now I went back to my old method, which was to just wet a piece of toilet paper.
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, get yourself a little tushy,
Yeah.
and
I know.
it's
Tushy
great,
is the
man. I'm
best.
telling you, it really. My wife, she's an art director at a magazine. They did a whole story on it, and we got one, and it really it made everything so much easier.
Yeah, I went to Japan a few years
Oh,
ago
there you
to perform for a couple weeks, and yeah, that changed my life. Those
Yeah.
toilets there are legit.
Yeah,
Yep.
they don't fuck around.
They don't fuck around at all. And my favorite, besides the omnidirectional water that shoots in your ass, and that was incredible. But the best thing was one of the higher end ones that we used had a fake flushing sound.
Really?
To muffle the.
To muffle, just in case. You know how
Yeah.
sometimes when you're having a go at it,
Yeah.
you flush.
Yep.
This was like whoosh.
Gotcha.
It wasn't loud enough.
A little undercover, sort of
Yeah, it
like.
was
That's
like-
hilarious.
Yeah,
I kind of like that.
I
Actually.
loved it.
Yeah.
Especially in public situations. But that's great. Yeah,
I would just go sometimes and just sit on it just to get a warm blast.
I have yet to
was-
go to Japan, but that's gonna be one of my go-tos when I go there.
And it's funny because you go in and take a shit, and you have this toilet that's like the most high-tech thing you've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
And then outside, you see someone sweeping with like the end of a tree.
Yeah,
You know?
it's like a branch.
It's like
What's it that the yin and yang, right? Is
Yeah.
of like new and old. And
it is. It's all
tradition
mixed
and,
in
like,
there.
Technology.
And also, some of the bathrooms will have on one. They'll have one of those beautiful Toto,
Yeah.
And then next to it, it'll just be a hole in the ground,
The Turkish toilet.
which I actually prefer. And sometimes I do that, like in a public restroom. I'll just put the seat up and get up on the ridge
Really?
and squat.
Really?
Yeah, and I actually
How is your foot not slipping on in that bowl?
I get big
Like
feet.
Spider-Man.
I've actually seen signs to telling people who are used to squatting toilets to not do that because you could break the toilet.
Oh, well, I haven't broken one yet. I'm a pretty big guy. And it's funny because my brother used to do that in college. And I used to make fun of him for it. And then it turns out that that's really the correct way to...
Well, is that kind of like
Well, that's
having
what
the
the
squatty potty?
potty's for.
Yeah, if
Yeah.
you get those squatty. Yeah, so that's basically what
Yeah,
you're
so
doing.
that gets you a little bit
Yeah,
part
Yeah.
of the way, but it's not a full squat.
gets everything sort of straight and narrow.
And then you don't have to do the whole... I have a whole system for when I'm in a public...
Oh yeah,
You
you got to
know.
build a nest. I mean,
I build
do.
a nest. Yeah, I put it on the corners.
Yep.
I put two on either side. I put 2 layers so it doesn't slide off.
Yeah.
And then I have the edges, and then I put one in the front so my
Oh.
dick doesn't hit the front.
I got it in front,
'Cause-
back. I put it like every like every corner. Like it's just.
That's the worst
It's
when your
all over.
dick hits the
Oh.
front.
I think I have every fucking disease after that. Like great.
And
But
the
have you-
splash guard.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in like an emergency
do the splash guard.
situation
Yeah.
and you're
Everybody should do the splash guard.
Oh yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Oh, I put like, do you put a few layers in the water so
Yeah.
it doesn't splash?
Yeah.
I do
That's
that.
the splash
Oh,
guard.
I
You
I
put
don't.
up-
I don't do it too often.
Oh,
I
you
always
have to,
do
so
it.
you
But I
don't
mean,
get
like-
Poseidon's
But
kiss.
I've never. I've got to say, I don't think I've ever had a Poseidon's kiss.
What's
I mean, I'm sure I have, but I
What's
think they've
the-
all been at
when
home.
the water splashes back
That's
up
not
and
like-
kisses you in the tushy.
Oh yeah. Well, I have to say sometimes
I don't give me the
sometimes-
dirtiest look. Like, there's no way you have not had a fucking Poseidon's kiss.
I've had a Poseidon's kiss in my own home.
yeah,
Well,
I've
that's-
had it
at
and
home-
liked it.
At home, I'm like, okay, it's kind of home turf, but like never like in a public setting. I
Ugh.
don't think.
You ever
That's
get
why
it?
you do the splash guard.
I understand why. I just don't do it.
Do you ever get the splash and you're like, oh, that was kind of nice?
Refreshing. That's what the tushy's
That's
for.
what the tushy's for.
That's what I turn my tushy on. I'm like refreshing.
Have you ever been in a situation where you're like frantically putting the paper on and then because of that flap and then it's a self-flushing toilet and it
Yep.
flushes and it pulls the whole
Yep.
setup
Yeah.
down?
I've talked about
Yeah.
that. Yep.
Ugh.
It's like
It's
a
the-
trapeze artist, or
It's
like
the worst.
It's like a stunt man jumping into those big airbags.
You're like turtling from one end, trying to build the, and then everything gets fucked up. You're like, why? Because if you are lucky enough to go into a public toilet that has like the seat covers,
Oh.
I always use the center of the seat cover that you're supposed to just dangle.
Yeah,
I rip
yeah.
that whole fucking thing
Yeah,
out and use it as a splash guard.
Right.
It comes with a built-in
that's
splash guard. Yeah.
I use that as the first layer when they have one of those.
Oh.
Yeah, I use. I kind of just.
They never quite fit.
Yeah, I just sort of rip it off. And I do throw it in, but not as a splash guard because I hate.
Yeah,
like,
you
it just
throw
gets
it
all
in,
messed
but
up.
don't crumple it up. Just let it hover on the top of the water so it cradles your dew when it goes in, and then you don't get any splashback.
That's. I do a pre-wipe too. now.
Oh, you have to because other people are fucking animals
Right.
and they
Oh
leave
my God,
remnants.
yeah.
And do you?
It's
So
like
what
piss
I do
particles.
is I take the toilet, I take it, and I do one side and then the other because if you go all the way around, you could be spreading what's on the one side all the way around. So I work from the center out,
Right.
and then I put that in, and then I do a flush, a pre-flush,
Yeah.
because who knows if the animal before you didn't flush.
Ugh. I know that's
Yeah.
like when I hate peeing or pooing on somebody else's pee. I'm like, I don't want that
Oh.
splashing up to me.
Yeah, that's gross.
Except for I am if it's yellow, let it mellow. So I'll pee on my own pee. But I feel bad for people who come over my house.
I had a roommate who was like coming out of his hippie phase from, we lived together right after college, and he, wouldn't flush. So, some people don't flush when they pee because they think it's a waste.
Yeah. If
So-
it's yellow, let it mellow. If it's brown, flush it down.
Right. So I told him, look, man, if you're going to do it like that, I'm going to be flushing double time because I don't know what's going on. So every single time I go to the bathroom, I'm going to flush first, and then I'm going to do my thing, and then I'm going to flush again because I don't even want to pee into your pee. So if you are
if I
trying to
see-
conserve, you need to flush every time, and then I won't flush.
Yeah.
Pre-flush every time, and it
If I
works.
see anything in there, I'm flushing. So it's
Yeah.
I don't care. Like, I don't want to. I want a fresh bowl. I want a clean slate.
Talking about your bowl,
You deserve
how are
it.
your bowel movements, Dave? You haven't checked in yet.
Mine are actually kind of loose yesterday.
Oh.
But I don't know if it's something that I ate. Maybe just kind of maybe gave me like a little bit of.
Are you taking your Pure?
Yeah. Took
not
it. It was
binding
still
you?
like, but I think it was just something I ate, which I can't remember what I ate. Now.
So you were what?
I mean, it was like this liquid, like for like just one do, but the other one I had was probably like a 5. So, it's weird, but I'm all back on track. Today was normal. Today was like 4.5, somewhere between 4 and 5.
We're in a roller coaster
Yeah, it's weird.
of
I think
emotions.
I've been trying some new recipes, so I think maybe like some of the spices I've been using, it's delicious, but maybe it's just kind of like messing my stomach a little bit. So, but it's fine, all is good.
Glad to hear that.
Greg, now that we've checked in, talked about laying the nest, tell us about yourself. Why are we here interviewing you? Who are you? What do you do?
Hi, my name is Greg Dubin. I'm a magician.
Ooh.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I perform as the Great Dubini. And I like to poop. I grew up I was born in New York. You want the whole story?
Sure, whatever.
I was born in New York. I grew up in South Florida, Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
Plantation, if you know it.
Never. I
Nice,
don't know that.
Fort Lauderdale.
Okay.
And I've been living back in New York for about 16 years. I was living in San Francisco for
Oh, cool.
a few years,
And you came back here.
which is the street shit capital of the world.
Oh, yeah,
the
we-
United States at least.
We
We
did a
used that in
story.
the news.
They have an app for that.
Yeah, I've seen
Which
that
is so
interactive
insane,
map.
yeah.
And that's actually interesting because when I lived in San Francisco, I pretty consistently saw people shitting in the street. And I mean, the last time I visited, I almost stepped in human shit. And, I've really only seen it here a couple of times where I saw like this guy was in bad shape. You know, he was obviously severely mentally ill and covered in shit. But other than that, like there in San
just like-
Francisco,
it's like
people
every other
look at
week.
you like you're
You're like, hey,
shouldn't
man, what's up?
What the
Covered in
fuck
shit.
are you doing in my bathroom?
Yeah.
When you're like, you're on the sidewalk, dude. So
Which goes to a whole nother thing. Like when I read that story, I was kind of like, this is so annoying. They made a dumb app about this instead of just maybe trying to figure out a way to like solve homelessness. I mean, I know it's a bigger question, but
Yeah.
this idea of like, give some people some dignity. I mean, obviously there's a lot of mental illness involved.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, for people that are just like out there, it's like, where else are you going to go?
yeah,
I'd be shitting in the streets.
I
mean,
would
like,
too.
You got to go.
It's just it's a bad problem there. So that was interesting.
So you've been in New York for 16 years, you said?
16 or so.
Nice.
17. Yeah. And, I'd perform, in all the usual places and met the Slipper Room a lot and corporate stuff and birthdays. And
Do you know
Yeah.
Matt Holtzclaw?
yeah, I know Matt.
Awesome. We had him
course.
on.
Yeah, he
early
was our
episode.
very first guest.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's also from Florida.
Uh-huh.
Yes?
We went to the same college,
Oh, shit.
Ah.
Florida State,
Oh.
but we didn't know each other.
Oh, okay. Two magicians.
It seems like there's a lot of people from Florida that live here.
I know a bunch of people from Florida.
Yeah.
And then
Well-
some people that actually just moved to Florida.
Oh,
Oh.
yep.
Yeah,
God.
so. Well, actually, a guest of ours just moved to Florida.
Yep. Beelzebub.
Yeah. So her boyfriend wound up down there, and then she...
I wound up down there because my grandparents did the good Jew thing and moved from, they retired and moved to Miami, and then everyone followed them, all the aunts and everybody, and my dad, they were tired of the cold. And
Yeah.
then when we moved back here, my dad's like, I spent the first 30 years of my life trying to get out of Brooklyn. You fucking guys move back the first chance you get. I'm like, well, you shouldn't have gone. And he just couldn't believe it. He was like, when we first got back, he was driving us around, showing us, oh, this is where I used, my bachelor pad was here. And we're like, he looked around at one point and he goes, he was dead serious. He goes, I can't believe there's so many people in Brooklyn. And I said, well, what did you think, that everybody left? And he said, yeah, I thought everybody left. Everybody was leaving.
They probably did at some point, and
They
then
did.
came back.
It was like,
And especially in the 80s.
Mass
It was like
exodus.
ghost.
a white flight,
Yeah.
They just wanted to get the hell out of the snow and the, walking up and down stairs and.
Oh,
Yeah.
don't get me wrong.
I'm with you
It's a
on that,
little
man.
bit chilly out today for the weather we've had, and I was just sitting there thinking, "Oh my God, winter is
Yeah.
coming!" And
This shit's it gets real.
I love it. I love it.
Really?
Because I
Fucking
grew up
hate it.
in the humidity, 11 months out of the year, and I love the change of seasons. I love snow is like magic to me. I still get excited.
That's
I think snow
Words
is
from-
great in the suburbs, but here in New York, it's just a disgusting.
yeah.
well,
mess.
it's just a hassle because everything shuts down if they don't know how to plow it correctly. I mean, I went to college and I grew up a part of my life in Western New York, so I hate snow.
Oh.
Like I'm done with it.
Yeah,
Like,
you got
it's
it
just-
even worse up there.
But at least they know how to like take care of everything.
Yeah,
I don't mind it.
This is not a podcast about snow.
no.
It's about poop.
I
So
like to shit in the snow.
yeah.
Well, but talking about poop and snow, then the animals poop, the dogs
yeah.
poop, and people don't want to pick it
Yep.
up, and then it
That's
starts melting, and you
savages.
just get like piles of garbage and dog
that
shit.
That first big snow melt in New York City. You're walking around. You're like, oh, it's not freezing yet. Oh yeah, just step in dog shit.
Yeah, and then the snow is only white for maybe an hour, then it turns black and disgusting, and
Yeah.
you have to walk through it. And
Slushy.
if you don't have the right shoes, your shoes are fucked.
Sounds
Well,
like,
you gotta be like, you gotta come correct with that stuff.
Yeah.
sounds like this podcast is moving to Florida. You know that show with the two? I can't remember. The two girls. What the
Broad City.
Broad City? Did
Uh-huh.
you see
Broad
the one
City.
where they went down to?
Yes.
Miami.
Great
They
episode.
Moved in with the
Yeah.
grandmother. That's kind of the kind of place my parents were living in.
Oh, okay.
I mean, exactly like that.
Yeah,
Oh.
like a
And they kind of, in a funny way, really captured Florida
They
because
nailed
it's
it.
true. Everybody does have guns.
yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
I've had-
so that's the reason why if I went down there, I'm just staying at my house and
Yeah.
like going. Like I'm not hanging out with people.
I've
New.
had guns pulled on me by like my friends' parents growing
Oh
up.
my
No
God.
joke. Like
It's a crazy state,
it's a crazy state.
but it's
No.
warm.
My dad had a
It's
gun
cheap.
for a while, and he had no business with a gun. You know what I mean? He was just an old guy, and he was like, "I want to get a gun," and he took a class, and then they give you a gun. So
Oh my God.
it's bananas.
Talking about a quick way to shit your pants,
Yeah,
getting a gun pulled
exactly.
on you.
Instant poo factory right
Yeah.
there.
I would shit my pants.
I've actually
Yeah.
never shit my pants out of fear.
Really?
No,
I don't know if I.
is that
No.
really a thing?
I mean, it's never happened to me. I imagine that's maybe when you get older, you kind of you're a little looser back there. But I mean, I've never done it as like
is it just
an
a
adult.
trope in a movie like quicksand or something?
It's like a saying, I guess. But I don't know. I've never.
I don't know if I've shit my pants out of fear, but I feel like I've come close to peeing my pants out of fear. But I feel like I pee my pants all the time, so they're all the
You're like-
memories are combined.
You have
into
all the
one.
emotions just kind of just related to peeing. I just think that I've never done that before, but I've almost had a heart attack from just like the amount of stress.
Yeah.
Where I'm kind of like, what the fuck? But yeah, never.
But I've
shitting.
also never had a gun pulled on me, so
Yeah, me either.
I've had it
If I-
happen a couple times.
I feel like if
Oof.
I did, I might shit my pants.
I'm not a gun guy. It wasn't like I was in a gunfight.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like,
I've never even touched a real gun. I don't think I,
I
ever
have.
want to.
I have.
I've touched a BB gun, and that's about it.
I've never wanted to like be a gun person, but my friend in California, my friend took us shooting, and I gotta say, it was fucking awesome. It was so like if you're having a shitty day, and you just want to not like some psychotic kind of like I want to, but just you just want to like get some stress out. Oh my god, it's so fun. And Tiny, my wife, she's an excellent shot because she grew up like with hunters in her family. She was amazing. She hit every fucking target with like every gun. Like crazy automatic ones, like these with like a gun turret on the end of it, like a little stand, like handguns. I was like, all right, well, at least we know when the apocalypse comes, like
That
who's going to
scares
be.
me.
It is scary, but
She'll be on point.
it really makes you, and also makes you, if you're normal, it makes you respect like how fucked up a gun. It's like,
I did have a friend years ago who went to, this is like 15 years ago, she went to Cambodia, and it was like really cheap to shoot guns, but they offered her and she turned it down, thankfully.
Mm-hmm.
But for $100 she could take a rocket launcher to a cow.
oh my god, are you shitting me?
I thought you were going to say that she could shoot one of the village children.
Yeah, you want
But
this
I was
flamethrower?
like-
Just go ahead.
I was like, that
Release.
I kind of, I mean, I don't want the cow to die, but I kind of just want to see how, for only $100.
I'd be like, can I just see that? Do you have like a wood pile or something?
Yeah.
Like, I don't need the cow.
I would think a cow would be worth more than $100.
Yeah.
Yeah, she told me this, and I was like, "What? How is that?" And she was like, "I didn't do it, But I got offered if you for $100 a rocket
Damn.
launcher to a cow.
I know you can do that stuff in Vegas, not at cows, but
Yeah.
just outside of Vegas.
That's
you
where
can,
I set my first gun in Vegas.
you can shoot all kinds.
I went from
guns.
never shooting a gun to shooting like a fucking like M16.
Oh God.
And then it is terrifying. But they had a guy in there who was like buying up like every like gun package, and like the giant like the ones they put in like Humvees and stuff.
Jeez.
Like there's a whole range outside they were doing that with
My
them. Like
God.
yeah, it's like nuts.
Scary.
But anyway,
Let's get back to poop.
All right, I have a question for you guys.
Ooh,
I wanted
we
to
love
bring,
when
I wanted to
guests-
bring up. Have you guys ever shit in the ocean and or a swimming pool
Not in a pool, but yes,
like
in
in
ocean.
a body of water?
Yes, I have shit in the ocean. I have talked about that on the podcast.
Because
Yes.
I went sailing last year for a week, and every single shit I took for the entire week, I did it in the ocean. And it's been kind of controversial whenever I tell people, and they're like, why did you do that? I'm like, why wouldn't you do it? You know?
Yeah, animals are shitting in there like crazy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the entire ocean is a massive
there's
toilet.
yeah, there's more water than there's like. It's not like it's like you're sitting in a pool or something.
And we've done news articles that when there's really bad rain here in New York, beaches are closed because the sewers get so full that the shit is so bad in the ocean
Yeah.
that you can't go swimming.
Yeah.
So really? Of course,
But
shit
it's-
in the ocean.
But it's also like you're talking about like close to the beach shorelines. Like if you go out to like open water, I mean that's like
Well, when
Yeah.
I shit in the
It's
ocean,
fine.
I was at the beach.
yeah. But
And I
st-
had to go.
Yeah.
And I saw how far the public bathroom
Yeah.
was, and I was like, I'm not going to make it. It's do or die right now.
Right.
And all I have on is a bikini. If I shit my bikini, everybody's going to see it.
Right.
So I swam out far enough where I was away from other people. And it was
Sure.
only in Long Island Sound, so there wasn't like
Yeah.
waves. I totally pulled my bathing suit, was wading in water, and took a dump right there.
Yeah, that's what I would do. I would go out on the
Yeah.
we had a stand-up paddle board. I'd paddle away, make sure I was up
Yeah.
current, and it was great.
When you got to go, you got to go.
But it was better than it's like I don't know. The water's just immediate. It's
Yeah.
like you just give it a little flush
My,
with your hand. So I'm not crazy, right? It was
No.
No, I don't think it's crazy. I mean, I would do that. I mean, I'm not going to suffer. I'm not going to go
fantastic.
inside the boat.
But
That's
going
even
in a
worse.
pool is fucked up.
I did that when I was a teenager. But it was
Oh,
we were like jumping.
was it an accident?
No, it was being an asshole kid. You know, we would jump into like the pools of like houses that were for sale,
That's fucked up.
and then shit in the pool, and then
Jesus Christ.
Florida.
That's evil.
that's what happens when you grow up in Florida. You shoot guns and shit in pools.
Oh my God. That's the term Florida man.
Exactly.
When I
Florida man's
Googled
right.
Florida man, you know the thing where you Google Florida man
Yeah.
and your birthday? I'm not making this up. When I Googled Florida man and my birthday, the article that came up was a guy that I knew who committed a murder.
Wow.
The guy that I went to middle school with.
And now he's the governor.
That's
No, kidding.
terrible.
I know he's on
God.
death row. But yeah, that's Florida
crazy,
for you,
man.
Yeah.
But yeah, shitting in pools bad.
It's the worst.
Yeah.
Sitting in the
I
ocean,
wouldn't do
good.
that again.
But
There
we,
was-
we learned on this podcast that if you shit in a public pool in New York, they just shut it for a couple hours. They scoop the poop out.
Well, I think it was several hours, but still.
But, like,
a
not that
day.
long.
Yeah, not a day.
They
but
don't-
they don't like drain the pool. They just add more chlorine
Yeah.
and like suck it up.
Call
They
it a
don't
day.
drain it out and send Bill Murray in to
No.
eat it.
Nope.
Ugh.
No. There's none of that. That's maybe for private pools, but not public pools.
I mean, the amount of chlorine in there, I'm sure it doesn't matter. You could probably just swim.
I mean,
right
we had
around
our
it and
friend
it'd be
Autumn was
fine.
on the podcast, and she used to be a lifeguard, and she was saying similar thing. Like people would puke in it and stuff. They would just kind of clean it up a little bit and just put a ton of more chlorine in it, and that was really it.
Well, that's
Because the
why I
amount of
don't go
money
to
every
public
because
pools.
there's always kids in there like just
I mean,
doing stupid shit.
I'm upset enough to go into a hotel pool because I know everybody's fucking peeing in it. Like, you see people go to the bar and go back in the pool and go to the bar and go back in the pool. And I'm like, okay.
They never leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just obvious. Like, I don't care how many beers you
Ugh.
have. Eventually, something's going to happen. But I have a hard enough time with that. If I saw somebody shit in a pool, I'd be like, I'm never going swimming in a pool ever again.
Yeah, I mean, after reading a few stories on that stuff, I'm kind of like done with public pools.
Yeah. I mean, that's another effect. I don't want to keep bringing up Florida, but everybody in Florida has a pool. I mean, it's like
Yeah,
even
I
if
mean-
you don't have a pool you'll
You
know
know
5
someone's
other
got a pool,
people.
yeah.
So the idea of a public pool to me was kind of foreign. It was like they don't really. I mean, if they have them, it'd be like in an apartment complex,
Yeah.
and it would be very lowly attended. You know what I mean?
I could maybe do something like a public pool like that, apartment complex where you kind of maybe knew a bunch of people,
Yeah,
but like
But an
straight up
apartment
like
complex is kind of like a hotel pool.
Yeah.
It's on
I could-
that same level.
that doesn't bother me as much, depending on
yeah.
again.
But like a New York City public pool,
Yeah, I can't do
no,
it anymore.
I'm not doing that.
Because there's too many children.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And children do the grossest shit.
yeah,
yeah.
they can't even help themselves.
They don't give a fuck.
Looping back to the ocean shits though, and if I should try to get my friend to tell us, but he probably won't. He was on vacation. I think it was on his honeymoon. Maybe I think it was on his honeymoon, and they went to. Oh my god, where did they go to? Somewhere in like Southeast Asia. I'm forgetting now exactly where, but they were on this boat going from island to island, and it was like probably like a couple 3 hour, and he got sick, and he's just shitting. He just like at one point he was just hanging off the edge of the boat. The guy's like, you can just go, like in broken English, like just go off to the side.
Right.
And he didn't want to have his ass hanging off, so he just like grabbed one of the ropes along the side of the boat, and just was in the water as just holding onto the side of the boat and just shitting.
He was shit skiing.
Yeah, he was. I mean, he was like, I go, how was it? It was like just liquid. It was like. Just
I could just
bad.
see you hanging your ass off the side of the boat and the shit just spraying back
Yeah.
onto the boat, not
I think-
going into the
I
water.
think he was just like, I can't do that, so
Yeah.
I'm just gonna hold myself up. He was like my strength conditioning coach, so he's a really strong dude. So he's just holding onto the edge of the fucking boat like with a rope, and the boat's just basically towing him, but he's like off to the side and just letting go. And I'm like, how was it? He's like, it was fantastic.
Well, when I went tubing at camp,
Great.
when I went tubing at camp a couple weeks ago, I had to pee, and we were with our friend Big John, who's like this humongous beast of a man. Like, he's just a big dude. Like, and so I was like, shit, I gotta pee. And he was like, I'll hold on to you. So at one hand, I'm holding on to the tube. He was holding on to my left foot, and I'm just floating there peeing. And I go, hey, dude, can you see me pee? And he goes, actually, I can't.
Oh my god.
The other thing about shitting in the ocean is that the fish eat it immediately. Like because when we're on this boat, when you get under with the goggles on or the mask and the sea cocks, that they open them up and the fish are that's where they are.
Wow.
They're all around that. So
They're like,
if there's a lot
"Dinner."
of fish around and you shit, they come right over and
Like
just
ding
eat
ding
it.
ding ding
So,
ding. Damn.
sorry to tell you that while you're eating sushi, but
No, I'm all right with
That's-
it.
that's
I know
what it
that
is.
oysters are like the bottom dwelling. Like, I'll eat it all. I don't give a
Yeah,
fuck.
I don't care. What's the
I
like,
just
shrimp?
won't
I
eat
like- I love
actual
shrimp.
shit.
yeah, that's
Yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, I'm not divine.
that's
No.
the whole thing.
I'm
So-
not Mistress Ashley's
I forgot
poo
about.
guys.
You just reminded me. I can't believe I forgot. But I didn't even think to mention this, but since you brought up eating shit, when I was
Let's run the topic.
when I was in college, my good friend of mine, Taylor, and we waited tables together, and we came up with this whole character who was a shit eater, a secret. We named him Scatty Lapowitz, and then we
Scatty Lapowitz.
we made a whole video, like a whole movie. Like, this was back in the day, so we didn't really have editing equipment. We
Yeah,
just
yeah.
kind of did it, and it was incredible. And it got taped over by my mother, but it was this whole
And did you have
incredible.
some kind of brownie shit mix you made? Like fake, like,
No, it was like
movie or
the whole story was he was sitting there. We're sitting there playing like Sega or Nintendo, and he's like sitting there like as the shit, and then he runs to the bathroom, and he has this major blowout, and then I think we use the Baby Ruth because of
Caddyshack.
and then it cuts to him like he's on the floor crying, going, why do I love shit? And then he reaches in and takes it and eats it,
Oh my god.
and it was
That's pretty
beautifully
nasty.
done. Yeah, it was.
Too bad your mom taped over that.
Believe me, it's been a bone of contention, and
Oh shit.
It
Well,
was-
you have to remake
What did she
it again.
tape it over with? Like Regis and Kelly?
probably.
Designing women.
God, why'd you do that, Mom?
Yeah.
Would have been
Parents.
incredible.
Fucking
They
up the
just
good
don't
times.
understand.
They don't. You don't understand. What's the name again? Lippy what?
Scotty Lapowitz.
Scatty Lapowitz.
Because he's a
Like
scat
Lippy.
lapper. Scat lap. We had all kinds of disgusting stories.
Well, speaking of stories,
Yeah.
do you have any besides you sitting in the ocean in pools?
Well, I have several stories, but I should tell you the one that got me here.
Yes, please.
I was telling Minnie this story, and she's like, "Oh my god, I didn't even know you guys had this podcast
That's okay.
until she told me."
And it's sad that not enough people know about
It's
this
sad
podcast.
because I should know about it because I know of you guys through your photography, which is beautiful, and you know, because you're photographing all the performers and beautiful people.
A lot of cross-sectioning.
Yeah, and then
Well, thanks to all the algorithms on social media, our posts get hidden from people. So
I love poop stories and talking about it. And then even when I Googled it, it didn't come right up. I like put
we were talking about that. We're like,
shit talk.
It's really annoying as fuck. But I mean, look, you're here. That's all really.
I'm here. Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm not here to
know.
bitch about that. I'm just, you know. But I was telling Minnie this story. So this was this year. I went to Philly to do a friend of mine was doing a show, and she asked me to be in it, and I was like, I was like, yes, I'll do it. I'm going to drive out to Philly. It was like a quick in and out.
Yeah.
I was doing one set in a show. It was almost like too much travel just for this one show. But I really wanted to do it, and I wanted to support her and see what she's doing there and stuff.
Nice.
And now I haven't been eating meat for like the last year, so I stopped eating meat, but I eat a little bit of meat here and there, you know. And my wife's a vegetarian, so it's helpful, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But I was going to Philly, and I was like, fuck it, I'm getting a Philly cheesesteak. I haven't had one in a while.
Yeah, baby.
I'm just going to do it. And, you know, you ask 10 people for their opinion on the best cheesesteak, and you get 10 opinions, and it was this and that. And I can't even remember the name of the place that I went to. I was probably better off. And I just found it. I, like, mapped it. It was on my way to the venue. So I went. It was great and also horrible. You know what I mean? It was like, I was very glad I did it. I ate this thing. The sun was still up. I don't know. It was earlier in the day. It was late in the day, early in the evening. I do the show. I have a beer, you know. I'm just like, all right, I'm just getting ready to go home, you know. And it's like about 11 o'clock at night, and I get in the car and I'm driving, and I'm like, it was immediate. It was like out of nowhere, you know. I was
They
just
always are.
leaving the city. I was like,
It's like your stomach's getting mugged.
it wasn't like, oh, I'm gonna have to, in a couple of exits, I'm gonna have to stop. It was from 0 to 100 in a second, and I was like, I have to take a shit. It was just, I was sweating, and I was like instant, like, you know, when you're like holding for dear life, you know, your ass is clenched. Yeah, yes, it was like that. It was loud, and I was just like, fuck, I gotta get all, you know. I got to get off the highway, and I'm like looking, and the first exit I see it's an exit, but it's not an exit to like a town. It's just an exit to like another highway.
Yeah.
And I'm like, fuck it. So I take the exit. I'm looking for a Wawa. That's what I'm looking for, because I had it in my mind already that I got to hit a Wawa on the way out of town to grab something to eat, you know, because I was hungry. It wasn't like I was. And I'm like, oh shit! So I get off this highway, and it's like already I can't tell if it's happening or not, but it feels like it's just shooting around the sides of, you know, I feel it. It's coming out. I'm like quivering, you know, and I get down this kind of ramp, and I see a Wawa. And I'm like, yes. So I do like an illegal U-turn, and I get out of the car to go into this Wawa, and I'm walking up, and I feel my ass, and it's just wet.
Oh no!
I'm wearing jeans, right?
Oh.
So I look behind, and it's just a big stain of shit. So I'm like halfway into the Wawa, so I'm like, fuck, I can't go in. So I turn around and I get in the car.
No,
and I'm looking for a spot in the Wawa parking lot.
Oh my god!
To take a shit. I was just gonna do it in the lot, But I don't know if does everyone know what Wawa is? It's like
I
a
do.
seven.
I do.
It's like a
It's like a-
7-Eleven
yeah.
on steroids.
Yeah.
They have great sandwiches and
Yeah.
everything.
And it's a gas station too.
And it's a gas
Yeah.
station.
Yeah.
So
Mainly on the East Coast.
and they're very popular in Philadelphia. It's like the thing.
Yeah.
So because it's a Wawa, the parking lot's full of people. I mean, there's like people drinking in one corner, some guy eating a sandwich.
It's a social-
there's,
it's a social
there's
hang.
nowhere to shit. So I'm like, fuck. So I pull out of the parking lot and I just bang a right. And I'm driving. I'm in like kind of an industrial area, like it's a suburban industrial area. And I see this big parking lot, and I pull in. I'm dying. I've already shit in my pants a little bit, and I
God.
pull
a
into this.
lot of it if it's wet through your
Yeah, a
jeans.
lot of it, but there's a lot more to come. I can tell because I'm still clenched as hard as I
That was the
possibly can.
appetizer. That was the opening band.
So I see this massive, like, I don't know, it was like a big building with, and as soon as I pull into the parking lot, like the automatic lights came on. So I was like,
Oh my God.
it's like a baseball stadium
Yeah,
of
they're like,
lights.
yeah.
And I'm like, fuck. So I turn around out of there and I go down. It's like down a street, and I pulled down another side street.
Oh my God.
And it's more like industrial area. It's like car tinting places, window tinting. And I finally see a parking lot. I see like a, what do you call it? A big garbage thingamajiggy,
A dumpster.
a dumpster. It's my old brain. I can't
We're like,
remember
sounds
words.
like, we're like, sounds like. No.
So I see this dumpster. It's like in the back of a parking lot. So finally I pull over, I get in there, and I pull my pants down, and I just take the most horrible. It was dark, so I couldn't really see what was going on. I just shit everywhere. And I'm like, oh, it was like the best
That feeling,
feeling.
yes, when you release. Oh,
Like, oh my God, this is horrible and great. I didn't even get out of Philly, so I got 2 hours ahead of me
oh
in the car.
my God. So wait, what time is this at night?
This is like
roughly?
11 o'clock at night.
Oh my
I don't know where the hell I am. So I'm like, oh, all right, I'm done. I had to find something in my car to wipe my ass with. Now, I got nothing with me except my jeans that I'm wearing and my clothes for my act, which are, I do this Jesus act where I do like a tribute to the greatest Jewish magician of all time. So I have this white suit basically,
Oh
like
my God.
in the car. So I have nothing to change into. And all right, so wait, I skipped. So now I'm sitting there. I've destroyed my pants. I've destroyed my underwear, and I got my pants like down at my ankles, right? And I'm like, what the fuck do I do? As I stand up, it was like the loudest sound in the world. Like I had woken up some bats. So behind me in the trees, there was like 1,000 bats
Oh my
in
God.
in like the trees, and they like just came over me like,
Oh my God.
and I screamed. I was by myself. I was like, ah! It was
That scene, The Dark Knight.
it was fucking crazy.
You would shit your
I had
pants out
shit
of
my
fear.
pants everywhere.
No,
and
no,
then-
but like
oh,
with the bats, if you didn't already evacuate.
Yeah.
I would have shit all
Oh
over
my
the place.
God.
So that happens, right? So now I'm standing there and I'm like, what the fuck do I do? I'm just trying to regroup.
Yeah.
You know? So walk over to my car with my pants around my ankles, and I had to figure out how to get my pants off to get to my underwear, just get rid of my underwear. So I got like a knife out of my car and I cut the underwear off.
So you just waddled over to the car like,
Yeah, I take it
Shit around
all.
your ankles?
I take the underwear, I take everything, and I wad it up and
Oh.
I throw it into the dumpster.
Oh my God.
And as I'm walking over to the car, a car turns, and it's like turning from the street, and it just makes the left turn, so its headlights kind of hit me.
Yeah.
And I'm standing there, and I look like I just like committed a rape.
Yeah.
I'm like
Yeah.
waddling over to my car, and I'm like, oh my God, my DNA's everywhere, and who the fuck knows what happened here before I got here. I was like,
You're like, I am the
mortified.
victim, not the perpetrator.
yeah. So I get like a towel out of my car. I found a rag. I wiped everything down.
Oh
And
God.
I shoved it in my pants, like the other dry thing, and I'm like, all right, now I have to go to this Wawa and clean up, So I was trying to head back to the Wawa that I had passed, but I saw another Wawa,
They're littered in Pennsylvania.
And I'm like I can't go in there. There's my pants are still completely stained.
Oh,
Right with
yeah.
Excrement.
Yeah.
excrement. So what I did was I took off my shirt.
And you wore it like a
I
diaper?
wore it around. No, I wore it like you know,
Like
it was
90s grunge
exactly.
flannel.
I was gonna say like a cold day in Florida
Yeah.
that turns hot
Right.
by noon. So I have that, but so I'm wearing a wife beater, and I have my shirt wrapped around my waist, and I just walked into the Wawa, went into the bathroom. No one even batted an eyelash.
You're probably the
way I
third
was
person
dre-
that saw coming that night. They're probably like, oh, yeah, the guy shit his pants again.
I went into the bathroom, you know, cleaned up, and I went and got something to drink, and then I drove home, and like I was fine. You know, I was nervous that it was going to happen again.
Oh, yeah.
And
When I've been like that, though, I start like my nerves make me shake,
Yeah.
like I was terrified. You know?
it was
That's
horrible and great because I knew like, first of all, I've never told the story to my wife because she already thinks I'm disgusting enough, but
She's like, why
she'll
does the
hear it
fucking
now.
car smell? Why does the car seat smell weird?
But I was just like, that was so bad, but also now I have
Where did
such
your
a great
underwear
story.
go?
Yeah. I would have, I thought you were going to say, I just wiped my ass with the white suit. I'm like, let's buy another. I thought you were going to say something like, you're just going to wear the suit or something. Like,
Well, I thought like, what would be worse, going into the Wawa with the way I was, like with the wife beater and the shirt around my waist, or in like this 70s tight ass white suit?
that would have been awesome.
Is that me?
Either way would have been bad.
I have to pee.
Ellen just came back from the bathroom.
And I pooped.
You pooped nice.
Yeah.
What was
Really?
it? What number
That's
are we looking
quick.
at?
Well, when it's ready to come out, it's ready
Was
to
it a
come
number
out.
one?
No, I think it was kind of like a 3 and it was a small one. But sometimes when I have to pee really, really bad, it pushes out a do.
Oh,
Because being a girl, we sit down.
yeah.
It's kind of a
You're
lovely
relaxed.
mid-afternoon
we always talk about
do.
that.
I sit down a lot when I pee now.
I have some friends that do that. But real quick, I got to get back to the story real quick. So, we're in the Wawa bathroom. You cleaned up. You grabbed a drink.
I grabbed
And
a
then
wad of toilet paper.
A
also.
wad of toilet paper. Yes. Yes, I imagine you would.
I think I also got some food.
Well, yeah.
You're like, what's the cheesesteak place again? I go back.
I got a veggie sub on the
Oh
way.
my God, he did.
Well, you're
I was
empty.
starving now.
Yeah.
I was
Well,
empty.
yeah, true.
Number 1, you're empty. But number 2, if you're ever constipated, you know where to go. A Philly's cheesesteak.
Oh yeah. Just
Oh,
That'll
yeah.
move it right through you.
Quick side note: I was a vegetarian for 10 years, and I went on this skateboard trip with some friends of mine. I was kind of, at that point, I ate fish a year prior to that. Then I ate chicken like 8 months prior to that, and then I was like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm just gonna get some actual meat. And we were in Philly skateboarding, and I was like, you know what? I'll just go get a Philly cheesesteak. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking, and I was a little nervous because I thought that was gonna happen to me, but I'm like,
And it
it's
didn't?
gonna be fine. It didn't. Shockingly, I thought I was gonna either shit my brains out on the way back or puke, but none of those things happened.
So I had a sausage and peppers the other night at the feast. You know, San Gennaro.
Oh yeah,
And like I said, I really don't eat much meat anymore. But that's
When in
like
Rome.
one of the things. I was like, all right, my annual cheese.
Yeah.
And I knew I was coming here to tell that story. So I was kind of worried that it was going to happen, but it was fine.
okay, cool.
I was fine.
Round 2.
So when you so after all this horrific shitting that was happening, did you just like wreck your seat, your front car? The
No,
seats
no.
of your car, or is
I dried everything off, and I found it. There was a towel in the car
Cool,
that I
cool.
laid down, and I also shoved one down my pants.
Oh, okay.
And then when I got back, it struck me again, but I was already like on the BQE. I live in Carroll Gardens, so I was like right there.
Gotcha.
And I pulled around. I pulled in to an illegal spot, ran up to my apartment, and then came back down and parked.
Oh, nice.
So it wasn't over, but it was It was like 2 hours in between.
Yeah, that's crazy. Oof. Oh my God, that's picturing you like trying to like go to the bathroom at Wawa. There's like a whole hangout going outside. Like, what's this guy doing?
Now, when I was in my 20s and when I first moved to San Francisco, the story's not as epic, but I was with my best friend and we were out checking out the city, and I shit my pants just because at that time I wouldn't shit in a public toilet.
Oh,
and I was
holding it in for so long.
And I looked over at him and I was like, dude, I just shit my pants. And this is like my best buddy that I grew up with, and he looked at me and he said, what do you need me to do for you, man? I'll do anything. And I looked at him and I said, hold me.
Oh my God.
Which he did not do, but
no, because you shit your pants. He doesn't want to touch that.
But he was very sweet about it. Like,
I'm just imagining if one of my friends said, I just shit my pants, I'd be like, why are you telling me that? I'm like, you know what
you're driving?
You know what? Yeah, you're gonna have to sit like
if a friend
face down on the back seat.
A friend said that to me today, like around this time while we're doing this podcast, I would say, no, you're supposed to floor it. And then I would say,
oh yeah.
And then I would say, hold on a second, let me get my phone.
Yeah.
I have to record this for the podcast.
Yeah, right. Oh yeah, that's a good point. I probably would record it too.
Bust your phone out.
I'm like, say that again. One more time.
What did you do? Tell me.
People must
why did you think
describe what just happened to you?
And why did you think eating that Philly cheesesteak was a good idea?
I kind of want a Philly cheesesteak right now.
Oh God.
I mean, minus the
that just sounds like a stomach
horrific.
ache.
It's so good.
They're delicious. Although, I mean, this is turning into a food episode or something. But what is it? What's that little big food market? The station.
The
Chelsea Market.
Smorgasburg.
No, it's in Philly.
Oh.
I know the big.
It's kind of like a big open like Essex Market, but like their version.
Yeah,
something terminal or something like that.
Yeah, and there's all kinds of
so there's a place called DeNick's. DeNick's has this insane, you might like this. Mm-mm. It's a roasted turkey sandwich with broccoli rabe, and you can pick like either peppers, cheese. It is tremendous how good it is. It is one of my favorite things in the world. It's juicy and perfect. The bread's pillowy. So
keep going.
I don't know where the fuck I'm talking. I just made me think of that right now. It's out of control delicious.
Getting hungry.
DeNick's.
You know what I did? Wait, did I already say
this? Or is it pork? Maybe it's roast pork. I'm sorry. I take it back. It's roast pork.
Like
so you would not
pork,
like that.
Yeah.
Take it back.
No pork for me. Turkey, please. I don't know if I said this on the podcast, but I told somebody. But do you know what I did in the past 24 hours? I had a bunch of plums for my CSA, and I was like, they're going to go bad soon. So I made them into prunes.
Oh, really? Ugh, I don't like prunes.
How do you do that?
Dehydrator.
Oh, you got a dehydrator.
I have a dehydrator. So I'm going to keep you posted how those prunes go.
Okay.
You know what prunes make?
You sound like an old woman right now.
I am an old lady. I feel like I'm an old gay man trapped in this body.
I don't think I knew that prunes were plums.
Oh yeah.
I don't think I knew that either until just now. To be honest with you,
I just thought they were like.
I thought they were prunes.
I don't know what I thought they were.
It's like how a pickle is a cucumber.
That's how they came that way.
Or a grape is a raisin.
Exactly.
Yeah. I knew that, but plums.
That I knew.
I didn't know about. That's funny.
Plums and prunes are the same thing.
I hate. Prunes are so gross.
So then, do plums keep you regular? Also,
I mean, I guess all fruit kind of does.
Oh, that's true.
But for some reason, when you dehydrate them.
So does Philly cheesesteaks.
Exactly.
Yeah. You're like, oh.
But I almost brought them over. I was like, I should bring my homemade prunes over, get everybody to eat them and figure out.
I eat it for the show.
I actually dropped one on the floor, and my dog came right over, and I was like, well, I wonder if her shits are going to be great later on.
Just like spray shit against the wall. You're like, no, Sophia, bad girl. Ugh.
I had the same guy that I asked to hold me. So when we were living together, we were supposed to go to the racetrack because he worked for some big company, and he's like, "We're having a racetrack day. You got to come. We're gonna party. It's gonna be great." And I was supposed to go, and then I didn't. And I came home, and I opened his door, and he's laying in bed. I'm like, "How was the track?" And he's like, "Oh, we party." And I figured he was drunk.
Yeah.
He's like, "Oh man, I got sick." I was like, "Oh, that sucks." So then I had to take a shit. So I go into the bathroom and I open it up, and it was like a fucking crime scene.
Oh.
Shit all over the walls.
Are you shitting me?
Boom. He had
shit on the fucking wall.
What happened is he had eaten a bad burger or something, and he was it was coming out of both ends. And when he was puking, he was shitting, and it was sprayed against the wall. So I went in there and I go, "What the fuck happened in there?" And he told me, and I said, "Look, man, here's what I'm gonna do. Okay, I'm gonna go to the grocery store. I'm gonna get you. Yeah, I gotta go take a shit. I actually had to call the poison control because he was so, I called them and they said, give him freeze some Gatorade, let him, suck on the Gatorade. And I said, look, man, I'll do anything you need. I'll help you. I'm going to do whatever you need. But the one thing that I can't do is clean that up.
Oh, hell yeah.
So while I'm gone, you need to muster the strength, get out of that bed, clean that bathroom good, and I'll come back and take care of you. And I went and did it and cleaned it up. But when I walked into that bathroom and saw the shit on the wall, it was like he did it on purpose.
I would have screamed. I would have been like,
hell to the no, no, no. Come on, come on. Come on, hell no. To the no.
That's a good one.
I love him.
That's so foul, though.
Oi.
Yeah, I feel like a couple times I've seen, in public bathrooms, I've seen that. Where it's just someone's shitting all over this. I'm like, that's just on purpose or something.
Yeah, well.
There's no way, they're just, I mean, if your friend's puking and shitting, I understand that, but
let's go back. Your friend was throwing up, I'm assuming, into the toilet.
I think he was projectile out of each end. He was violently sick.
But to projectile out of each end and get shit on the wall means his pants were off.
Well, he's probably taking shit.
I think he had been shitting and then puking.
Standing up.
And then,
so he's turning
I had that
around.
question, the same thing, but I was he's probably getting up and turning around and oh.
Haven't you ever been in that situation where you're so sick that you just don't know what to do with yourself and you're like, no,
but every time
bouncing off the walls.
I have been in that situation and my ass is always staying on the toilet and some kind of trash can or something else is for vomit.
I mean, I'm looking back, that's definitely the stance he should have taken.
Yeah.
But
I've never let my ass off that.
I don't think I've ever been that sick where, if I've been sick where I've been oh my God, I'm either puking out of my ass or out of my mouth, but never
yeah. Well, that's why I thought he did it on purpose.
Yeah,
because it seemed intentional.
Yeah. He's like,
You've
fuck this
never
bathroom.
had it where it's both ends at the same time?
Never.
Oh, I haven't had that in a while,
Never.
but
let's all
holy shit! I do not want to jinx myself, by the way.
Yeah.
Because if this fucking happens to me, in the near future, it will be bad.
The best outcome that I can foresee is that this episode got you in the mood for a cheesesteak, and that cheesesteak causes you to shit and puke out of both ends.
I would report
if
I was in Philly eating a cheat and that happened to me. I'd have to record that and just play that as the whole episode.
I think maybe I told the story, but you have to remind me if I'm repeating myself. But when I was in Paris with my family, years ago, this is 20 plus years ago, we were on the Champs-Élysées and there was a cheese cart, a cheese sandwich cart. And I was I'll get a cheese sandwich, a street meat kind of thing. And as I'm eating it, I'm nope, this is, there's something wrong with this, but I'm going to keep eating it. And I just, when you're eating something, you're this is going to fuck my shit up.
Yeah.
And I had the 24 hours, it was coming out of both ends.
You might have said that.
You should have stopped eating it.
Yeah, I know.
I've done that. I've been there. I'm you know what? I don't waste this.
Yeah.
But you just you got that feeling if I continue to eat this, I'm going to be hurting later. And then I woke up the next day and I literally am in the hotel bathroom, just butt pee and vomit at the same time. But I'm holding the trash can and my parents came to the room and I was staying in this tiny hotel room with my brother and I feel bad for him. It was 2 double beds, but they were so close to each other it almost looked like a queen size bed. And my brother went out with my parents and I was I literally can't leave. And so the only thing that stopped me from puking and shitting at the same time was sleeping. If I slept, then it stopped. And the house cleaner, the cleaning lady, came to the room and she's knocking on the door, and because of the language barrier I was no, please. And she's no, I come in and clean. I was no, please don't come in. And she came in to start cleaning and I ran into the bathroom and I'm again shitting and puking, and she's I'll come back later, I'll come back. And I was I was trying to tell you this is a bad idea.
I'm shitting my brains out here.
You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
I need you.
I was I need you to clean this up.
Oh my God.
But it was as long as I slept, and I pretty much slept 24 hours, then it just stopped.
Knock on wood, I have not had that. I've had that complete like just ass fountain, but never the puke at the same time. So
When I was in college, I shit out a perfect number 7. Like, just, it was one, when it's like a really long one and you're like, oh my God, it's just going on forever. But it's like a number, what's the perfect one? Number 4.
4.
Number
Yeah.
4. So I look in the bowl and it had just formed itself into a perfect 7, with like the little serif at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was like someone drew it.
That was
So
like
I
a little
took-
kink.
I took a picture of it, which I don't have
oh,
here because it's in a box, in
Somewhere.
a shoebox somewhere. But in that moment, I was like, you know what? I'm going to shit 1 through 10. And then, like, last year, I shit a number 10.
Whoa.
really?
Yeah, that I have a picture of.
We had our friend Bob on, and he has on Instagram called The Greatest Shits. You need
Really?
to submit it to
Oh
him.
yeah,
God.
he makes album covers out of his shits.
I sent it to my friend who I don't really talk to anymore, but I was like, hey, remember the perfect number 7 that I shit? And he was like, yeah. And then I just sent it to him, and he was like, what the fuck? What's wrong with you?
I'm trying to find his. We had him on.
Greatest shits?
Yeah.
With a Z.
So he literally turns his shits into album covers.
Yeah, it's really
So,
funny.
but his new toilet, he can't.
Those are his own shits?
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's okay with you submitting too. So when you
Oh, that's a nice number 11.
when you pull up your 10,
Was it that color green?
We
no, I
so
think he makes it artistic.
those playing at
That's-
home. If you go to the Greatest Shits with a Z on Instagram, you can see what we're talking about. Or listen to Bob's episode.
Yeah, which is one of the
One of the
classic all-time
funnier-
Wow.
greats.
Yeah, a funny one.
A green shit is a thing, too. I've had that
Yep.
happen.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've seen green. I have a different colors of the spectrum. Or you get the red beet shit sometimes.
That happens too.
The green ones are weird. You're like, what the fuck?
Well, I told you that like off-white one that I had, but that was eating an entire pint of sour cream and celery in one sitting.
We have
And
to.
it was like almost the color of my whoopee cushion.
we
Like
have to.
minty green.
You have to see. This is kind of all over the place, but the comedian Kurt Braunohler
Oh, yeah.
has a short film that I saw that is so fucking funny, and he's playing a cop. And he goes to the bathroom, takes a shit, and he turns around and looks at it, and it's blue. It's like blue, like alien
It's like
blue,
autumn
sparkling, like, and he is. It cuts to like him. He's starting to kind of scream because he's like, "What the fuck?" And the whole thing is about like the shit and like what does that mean?
What did he eat?
But it's so good though.
I took a picture of my nest for you guys today.
Aww.
There you go. Nice. We'll have to put
No
that.
splash
You'll have
guard though.
to text that to us. We can put that on the
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Instagram feed.
Oh, yeah, there's no splash guard.
Poseidon's kiss is coming for you.
Wow.
I don't mind it. It's kind of refreshing
Oh God, no.
because I do the pre-flush.
Well, a lot of people were saying if the bidet feels like a Poseidon's kiss, and I was like, no, it doesn't, because it's like,
Feels like a hose.
yeah, it's like a water pick for your butt.
the flush sometimes gets up in there too.
Oh God, that's the worst.
So that story was really fantastic, by the way.
Thanks.
And I get to hear about Wawa, which I haven't thought about in a minute.
The part that really freaked me out the most was because, everyone shits in their pants from time to time. I mean, it
Yes,
just
it
happens.
happens.
And if people say they don't, they're fucking lying.
Yeah. The bats are what really got me.
Well, that's the best. You're like, what the fuck?
Because I didn't know what the hell was going on, and it made me scream out loud. And it was like 1,000 bats, It was like, I mean, I'm assuming it was bats. I mean, what else would it have been? It was dark enough that I couldn't see. It was like that dim lighting that you see, like
Did you see
someone
like the
get
sky
murdered.
turn like
Yeah.
darker?
That's why you were the victim.
I was the victim. Of course I was.
Yeah.
Oh, God! No, God, please, no! No!
I mean, I would have said that too if I saw a bunch of bats.
Yeah, it was horrible.
So, any other poop stories? We told
Should
some
we
good ones
ask
already.
our normal questions?
Let's do questions.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm trying
What
to find this
teepee
number
do
10.
you like in over versus under?
Oh. Yeah, I heard you saying the over. You're talking about over or under on the roll?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
roll, yes.
Because I thought you were, at first when I heard you ask that, I listened to your episode with Gal Friday. I thought you were talking about wiping,
You know, you're the fourth person now.
Yeah.
so I can give you both.
Give it to me all.
Yeah.
Brand
All right,
is TP,
so
over under.
My brand, I'm like, my wife buys the toilet paper usually, so I don't know, but when she gets like the recycled stuff that's like a little too firm, coarse, I'm not into that, but I'm not into the stuff that's too soft. I like nice in between, because when it's too soft, it's just
too soft's gross.
But I like it to have enough structure that your fingers don't get hit. You know,
The coarser stuff is also good for when you do get a bidet.
Oh, right.
Because
the bidet really changes your outlook on the paper, because you just really at that point just drying yourself.
Yeah.
What
But
about
it's like a little bite to it?
you ever blow your nose and then use that same piece to wipe your ass with?
Yep.
I've done that before. Yeah.
It's important that you blow your nose first.
I have.
Dead on, balls accurate.
If I've been in a pinch where I don't have a baby wipe, a travel tushy, or anything with me, and I'm pooping in public, and I can't, and it's like many stalls, and you can't like leave to wet the paper, but you know that you're just going to keep wiping and wiping, and it's never going to stop. I will use pee-pee toilet paper, because the pee-pee is wet to wipe my butt with.
Oh.
I know it's gross, but it's my
So
own
you wipe
pee.
you wipe your pee-pee first.
Yeah.
And then
use that wet from the pee. I know it's gross.
No, I'm not.
Dave's giving me this look of like, I'm done with this podcast and our friendship.
You know, I do a pee-pee wipe nowadays because it doesn't, like, I'm 46. So my stream isn't as tight as it was, and also sometimes
I'm same age. So.
Shake, and you still get some drips. So I usually take a wad of paper and give it a little squeeze at the end.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah,
that's like Howard Stern talks about that too.
Oh yeah,
puts it because like it's just like it never. You're like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
it's a little bit of like
But if you really keep wiping, and I will continue. If I sat down on the toilet for like 5 hours straight, I would probably pee the entire time. I pee so much, so it's just easy for me to put a little pee on the paper to wipe my tush with to get it back there. Davis,
oh my God.
So upset
that
with
doesn't
me.
bother me.
It's upset.
I'm just like thinking.
It's like your own
as
urine.
you're talking about this now, I just think you have pee in your hands. I mean, I know you do.
No, I'm not peeing on. It's
No,
not
I
like
know,
a
no.
full bladder. I'm
I know.
wetting the paper just
if it was someone
enough.
else's
I
pee, then I
totally
would think
get
it
it.
was weird.
I totally get it.
Do you know what I mean?
Alan's like, hey, excuse me, sir, can you come and pee on this? I need some moisture.
If you were using the person in the stall next to you's pee, then it would be.
Yeah,
Excuse me,
that'd
do
be
you
crazy.
mind peeing on this paper?
Well, what's crazier is like what you asking or someone saying, okay.
Oh, I have another. This isn't really a good story, but the other day I went fishing the other day, and we were going like pretty far out, and my buddy was like, "Look, dude, here's the deal. There's nowhere to shit on this boat, and if you have to shit and you have to shit in a bucket, there is a bucket for it, but it's not a good look, you know, because like these boat captains, they don't go easy on you. So he's like, here's them. And we were leaving at like, we had to be out to where we were going to be by sun up, like when the sun was coming up. So we left at like 3 a.m.
Oh my, yeah. Oh
3:30. So I woke up at 2:30 in the morning, and he goes, here's what we do. He's like, you're welcome to sleep at my house. And then we get up at 3, we have some coffee. I have a quick egg sandwich, and then we try to shit. And then if you don't shit, then you got to, you get one more chance at the 7-Eleven before you get there, and then that's it. But so I was so stressed out about shitting that I couldn't sleep. I slept for like 4 hours. I woke up, 10 minutes before my alarm, which is a big deal when it's set for 2:30.
Exactly.
So I woke up, and I immediately went in and was drinking coffee, and I just tried I wound up being able to shit enough that I didn't shit on the boat, but it was so stressful. That's all I was thinking about all day. I was like, please don't have to shit, because it wasn't like I could just jump in the water.
Remind me, Ellen, to tell you the story. I don't know if I told it. I think I did tell it when I went fishing for the first time, like ever, out in Montauk, and we were there for like a weekend, and the amount of shits I took in that one weekend was staggering.
On the boat?
No, I mean,
Oh,
I don't think I took on the boat, but just
Wait, why do I have to remind you? Oh, it is a 10.
oh shit, is a 10. Wow.
Greg's showing us his 10 poop, and that's not the 10 on the Bristol stool chart.
It's
If
like
you
the
guys
number
know
10.
better,
It's a
it's
1 and a
spelled
0.
the number 10.
I didn't do anything to it.
That's
just came out that
fantastic.
way.
That has to be on the.
you have
I'll
to
send that
submit
to
it
you.
to the greatest shits.
I will.
Yeah, he'll put it on there.
Yeah, he'll turn it into an album cover.
I'll send him the 7 and then the 10. They were like 20 years apart.
I didn't want to like drag. Okay, so yeah, I guess after I'll just say it real quick. I had a very similar kind of thing. So basically, we were in Montauk for like the weekend, and there was like this famous like lobster roll joint on the right before you get into town. And my friends were like, you got to go there. So I'm like, all right, I have one. And I think it just fucked up my shit for the whole weekend because from
Was
that
it mayonnaise or butter?
mayonnaise,
Yeah, fuck
yeah,
that.
and I don't like. I just it was so stupid.
Yeah.
Ate the fucking thing, and then it just like wreaked havoc. So this was probably like a Friday. Yeah, we were there from Friday to Sunday or something like that. And then Friday night, and like we're staying, there's like 4 dudes staying in one like small like, hotel room, old hotel room, and I'm just shitting nonstop.
Oh.
And then we get in the car. My friend borrowed his boss's car. It's an old station wagon. It looks like the station wagon from National Lampoon's Vacation with Chevy Chase. It looked exactly like that. And we're in the car. We're going to get some dinner. So then I'm like, hey, can we go back to the hotel? Like, are you taking their fucking shit? I'm like, yes. That happened twice though, by the way, with the car. We'd go out somewhere. I'm like, we have to turn around. It's like, you can't just go somewhere. And this is when I was not into going to like public bathrooms that much. And I definitely was like, we have to go back because this is not something I can do in public. And it was like that for the entire trip, except for the actual
boat.
But because it was the first time I've ever been on a boat, that like supposed to like off, way the fuck out, I was puking my brains out. Like, no, sorry, I took Dramamine. I did take Dramamine, and it just like I fell asleep at one point.
Yo, yeah.
Like I couldn't really eat anything, couldn't drink anything, and then the second I got back to fucking dry land, took a shit. I mean, it was like I forgot my friend was counting. It was like a ridiculous amount of shits, and all from that goddamn lobster roll, which to this day I don't eat.
Let's go get some Philly lobster roll.
Although I do like lobster tails with butter. But anyway, sorry.
Connecticut style. None of that mayonnaise
Yeah, it's
shit.
disgusting.
Blech.
So, okay, so we know the brand.
Oh, yeah.
Or brand.
Over or under?
Over under.
Under.
Yes.
Camp under.
You can't get a good... I feel like with the over, if you try to, when you do the yank to detach it, you get it. Whereas with
You
the
got ticker
under,
tape parade on
you
your
just
fucking
pull up
floor.
and it rips off.
Thank you. Yes.
I didn't even know that was a thing until...
We did a whole episode about that.
It's still one of my favorite episodes.
We did a whole fucking episode
We had
about
a
that.
whole argument.
We had sharks.
I got to go back and I got to learn my history.
We did a whole
because-
thing about that. There's studies on this shit, like actual scientific studies.
A guy I know, his father wrote a book, and there was something about that in the book.
Yeah, well.
But I think it was more like a survey kind of thing of like, what do you,
Most people are over.
Now, what about, for the wiping thing, I wipe
front to back, back to front.
Well, I know now because I have nieces that I had to do some diaper changing for a while. It never would have occurred to me otherwise about the
Which
front
direction?
to back. You have to go front to back, right? But
Especially when you have a vagina.
Right. So you got to get up a little bit and reach behind you. But I always just reach. I don't get up. I just reach in between.
Oh, wow.
Pull forward. And apparently I'm one of the only people that does it that way.
I've never heard that before. Of the
You're
whole,
rubbing dew all over your taint.
No,
but like Lauren said, if you're using Pure for Men, it doesn't really matter because you're all pretty clean. But still, I go back to front. Or sorry, front to back.
You go front to back.
Yeah, I'm like, I just said.
Yeah,
back to
this
front.
way.
Yeah.
So. I thought that you were going to be like, yeah, that's what I do too.
Oh no, sorry, I misspoke. I go the correct way.
I'm willing to.
It's okay, Greg. You're like
take the hit on that because I remember I must have been in camp when somebody saw me doing it. And they're like, "What the fuck are you doing, man?" I'm like, wiping like a man. But
Yeah, you want to go front to back.
I try to go front to back, and it just doesn't really. It feels like throwing with the wrong hand or something, you know.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, but it's one of those things you just got to learn, I guess, because it's other way around is no bueno.
I gotta ask. Maybe my dad wipes that way, and he taught me wrong. I gotta
He's
ask.
just fucking with you one day. He's like, watch this. I'm going to tell this kid. I wipe his
Hey,
ass.
Dad, when you wipe your ass, do you go front to back or back to... The fuck are you talking
He's like,
about?
how are you, my kid?
You live in New York in the winter.
Yeah, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Wiping in the wrong direction.
Oh, my God. You're not my son.
I guess potentially you could be getting shit all over your balls, too.
Yeah. There's
Yes.
a whole thing involved with that.
Shit balls.
Ugh.
Yes.
Ugh. So,
And then what's the worst bathroom you've ever seen or had to shit in?
Oh. Well, one comes to mind. We kind of hit on this before, but I was in I think it was LaGuardia, actually,
I could see that.
or JFK, but it was one of those situations where it was like in the morning, 10 a.m., and I had eaten already, and I was waiting in one of these long lines, and, you know, it was like the line was, people were standing in front of stalls waiting, you know, it was like
God,
really
it's the
long.
worst.
And the guy who comes out, the guy comes out, and I go in, and there was shit everywhere. Like, he blew it out.
Oh, my God. I must throw up my mouth.
All over the seat, and I had to go really bad. So when I walked in, I just was like, "What the fuck?" And I turned around, and this guy was just like in the mirror, you know, checking his hair. Like, he didn't even attempt. If I do that in that
like,
situation, I'm cleaning it up. You know,
Yeah.
like, it's disgusting,
Or at
but
least say,
Or at least
I'm
say,
sorry,
don't go in
this...
there.
exactly,
Yeah, you're not allowed to
Out
do
dude.
of order.
Dude, don't go in there. Somebody blew it out.
Yeah.
Like, lie to me. Do
Yeah.
something, but at least warn me. And then I, you know, like, that was one of those like moments of like, you know, social wrongdoing that I normally would say something to the
Yeah.
guy, and I'd be like, "Hey, man, what the fuck?" But I had to shit so bad and I couldn't do it. I just left that entire bathroom, and I had to go find another one. It was
Yeah, you got to
horrible.
leave. Oh, it's awful.
It was
Yeah, I
horrible.
can see that.
That
Airport
was
bathrooms are pretty
that was
disgusting.
like the worst thing. And then I don't know. I mean, the first time I ever encountered one of those Turkish style, I was in Egypt when I was in my 20s. I went on this trip to Israel and wound up in Egypt, but no one told me about it, like how that whole setup was. And I think I grabbed some toilet paper that had already been used.
Oh.
It was like I didn't use it, but I like picked it up, and I was like, "Oh no!"
Oh, I can't believe you almost threw up.
For some reason, it just made me like that. I don't know what that was. Oh.
Dave literally almost upchucked
Twice.
First time.
Yeah, that was something that was...
Not even at Mistress Ashley Page got
Yeah.
you there.
But you almost puked on my previous story
Yeah.
too.
Both of those. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me
Mistress
today.
Ashley Page made you visibly sweaty, but you didn't vomit.
Yeah.
What's your worst bathroom? I'm sure you've already said this on.
He has
CBGB's bathroom, the men's bathroom at
Oh,
CBGB's. That was like probably the worst bathroom I've
Yeah,
seen
that
in my
was pretty
fucking
bad.
life. And the one at Mars Bar.
I was
But at
just
least it had
gonna
a
say
door.
Mars Bar,
But that at least had a door.
and also the place matched the bathroom.
Exactly. You know what you're getting yourself into. CBGB's, the men's bathroom, no door, and just three urinals and a toilet that was up on a two-stepper with no lid, no
Yeah.
rim, nothing.
I remember
flusher.
going into a bathroom like that.
no
it was
water. It was ice,
Yeah, it was
right?
like ice.
Oh yeah, a place in San Francisco. I don't remember what it was, but my buddy was like, "Yo, I have to shit," and there's no door on the thing. He's like, "You got to stand there for me," you know?
Ugh.
And I was like, "All right," and he just dropped and didn't put any paper down.
Oh,
so it was
wow.
a disgusting bathroom like that, and
His
he just
ass
put his
cheeks down
ass
there.
right on it.
He's
And
got
I was
every
like,
kind of fucking disease.
I didn't poop there yesterday, but I went to this amazing faux restaurant, Vietnamese restaurant in East Village yesterday, and their bathroom is like for customers only, and the place is like a hole in the wall. It's the most delicious food ever. It's like exactly what you expect, cheap as fuck. And then to go to the bathroom, you have to walk through the kitchen where they're all working into this tiny little bathroom in the back that it's like this weird L shape that like it's almost like a long hallway to the
Yeah.
toilet, but it's a single holer. And this bathroom is not the grossest bathroom I've ever seen, but for being in a restaurant, it's not great. But there's something so New York City charming. It reminds me of New York City in the 90s. And I don't know. I love it.
I don't like my bathroom being anywhere near a kitchen.
Yeah. Well, this is through the kitchen.
Yeah, that just
and then
seems dicey to me.
I should have taken a picture of it, but the tiles are blue. The toilet is blue. And then they have this like seashelled mirrored thing above the toilet. It's hideously beautiful. And
Okay.
I've
check it
never
out.
pooped there, but I've peed. It's at Vietnam on 1st Avenue and 1st Street.
Okay.
Best pho in the city.
Huh.
Shittiest bathroom.
Okay.
I judge places that serve food. If their bathroom's disgusting, I judge very harshly.
Oh yeah. They have
yeah.
like I even said to Gerald, because he loves this pho place. He introduced me to it, and I'll still eat there because it's that good. But you know how like there's the ratings outside of their food. They have a C rating.
Oh, God.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I heard some of those ratings are not necessarily the quality of like. It's just like, oh, your refrigerator has a leak.
Some of it,
but still, C's getting down there. You're kind of like, there's definitely some kind of food.
And I
issue.
said that to Gerald once. I was like, does the rating throw you off? And he goes, now that you told me, thanks a lot. And I was like, the
Whatever.
food is
Still
really
good.
that. I've never gotten sick from there.
There's a bodega that I get egg sandwiches at a lot, and they have a pretty consistent C. But I'm like, I'm eating the eggs. They're tearing through eggs and bagels in this place. Like that's.
And the egg comes in its own shell, so it looks like
and they're
case.
like, every day they're going through hundreds and hundreds of eggs. Like I wouldn't go get like the meat in the
no.
Anything with mayonnaise in it.
anything with mayonnaise or anything that sits under the heat lamps in a place like that. But the eggs and
What's your tuna salad like?
Can I get a side of coleslaw with that,
please?
Oh God.
So what was the other questions? I'm totally forgetting.
How's you? It sounds like your wife. You didn't tell her about shitting your pants on the way back from Philly.
No.
But is she okay with poop and fart humor?
I think she's okay with poop and fart humor, but I think we've been married for 10 years, and we have a 1-bedroom apartment with 1 bathroom, and that has been like one of the main points of contention in our marriage is that bathroom. And she grew up as an only child in a house that's like they're a little more like I've never heard any of them fart, and I grew up in a loud house, like everyone yelling and farting and shitting with the doors open, so it was like a different setup.
Night and
you know
day.
what I mean? Yeah. So she just didn't grow up around it, and it's just one of those things that it's hard to keep separate because we're so on top of each other. So it's just not, not sexy.
If we can recommend something that we use in the podcast all the time, undercover poo. It's a great sort of
it's like poopery.
It's like poopery, but like a bath bomb.
It's like a little tablet.
Oh.
So baking soda, a bittering agent, and a slight little hint of some kind of floral note, and it just sort of absorbs the. You can take it. You can throw it in before or during. Doesn't really matter.
Or even after.
And it actually helps clean your toilet because it's got baking soda in it.
Because with the poopery, it's pretty effective, but then you start to smell the scent of the poopery, and then it also starts to smell like shit.
Yeah.
I mean, nothing ever beats shit. 100%.
Right.
Shit's like 10 blocks ahead of whatever spray you're using. But I mean, the poopery I love. It's just that we actually have a little sample, I think, up on the
Not poopery, the undercover poo.
Undercover poo. Thank you. Sorry, the undercover poo.
Undercover poo. I'm going to get into it.
It's next to that little Panda Bear fly swatter.
Oh my God, my head.
Did we do? We didn't do. Owen comes back.
Oh,
yeah.
For me,
sure.
You don't eat these, right?
Parvu.
You
Yeah.
technically
you could.
can. It wouldn't make you sick, but there's a bittering agent to make you not want to eat it.
Yeah.
Right.
To make sure kids don't eat it.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But it won't kill you if you did.
Oh.
It's just like eating baking powder.
We interviewed the guy that
Baking soda.
John who invented it, and it's a fantastic product.
Smart.
But
And there's a promo code. Hey Poopy Pod for 15% off.
yes.
Nice.
We got promo codes for everything.
Support your local business people.
Yes.
Yeah, this guy's a local.
Well,
This
he's in
is
Jersey, so he's tri-state.
Oh, this isn't.
He's a
Brooklyn.
small-
artisan poop
Yeah.
cover.
But yeah, really cool guy. And that's a little sample pack we put together for our 22nd episode, which was a live episode.
The double deuce.
Yes.
I can't believe I wasn't there.
I mean,
I'm gonna get into you guys.
Well, we're starting to plan our next big event episode. I'm not sure exactly what number it'll be, but we want to have a whole burlesque show party and have really shitty acts. Either acts about shit and farting or just really
shitty.
bad acts.
Yeah. If so
It'd be funny.
Like we have like 4 or 5 acts right now that with the top of our heads we know we can get
The
That are
Gal-
shit related?
Yeah, Gal Friday has a constipation blues act. Matt Knife has his
Fisto act.
Fisto act.
You can
Never seen that one.
put your imagination to that. There's
Fist, not fist.
Yes.
and then my friend Ginger Twist has this amazing subway act that has a homeless person shitting. That is fantastic. Which you guys should check that out if you can. But anyway, did we go over the pants or floor? But since we kind of answered that with your stories,
Which
kinda,
one?
If you had to go to the bathroom,
Bristol 7 coming out like hot lava.
I mean, look.
I mean,
You know my answer.
Yeah,
It's just
no.
like I tried my best to not shit my pants, but sometimes
yeah. Sometimes you get the horns, you know.
if I was, there's no situation where I would pull my pants down and shit if there were a ton of people around. But
Yeah.
Well, you were just talking also about growing up and basically shitting with the door wide open. Do you have any other childhood stories? Do you remember your first memorable poo or fart? How was your parents?
no, I mean, my dad. There was a lot of farting in my house. I think Jews fart a lot, generally, and like.
Well, then make me Jewish.
I used to remember. I mean, I used to remember. I can remember hearing my father farting from the other end of the house. So, that's why it's like, I try to be like I don't fart in front of my wife because she doesn't like it.
That's not her
Right.
thing.
So I try to leave the room.
Right.
I mean, I do. 98% of the time I do. And, she can still hear it. And she's like, I can hear from the other room, ew! And I'm like, well, where do you want me to go? Should I go out onto the street, So I'm just...
Like, it's happening, baby.
I'm a loud farter, and there's like... I can muffle it sometimes, but like, it's just... That's how we grew up. Farting. Yeah.
Well, I grew up Episcopalian, and we were a very farty family, so... I don't think it's just one kind of religion.
No, yeah, I'm not saying only Jews fart,
Yeah.
but typically Jews, I mean...
Well, I would just contacted this PR woman that I'm friends with about trying to get guests for the podcast. And I was like, hey, I have this podcast. If you have any people who want to come on. And she wrote back to me, and I actually texted to Dave. She said, wait, did she say shit? I lost
She
it.
said shit.
She said shit.
She's like, shit, I have it right here. Hold on.
Oh, she goes, oh my God, I love to book for that. There isn't a Jew in the world that doesn't love to talk about farts and duty.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, then make me Jewish.
Did your dad have a sense of humor about the fart stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
It was very there was a lot of, farting on each other. And, I do it big with my nieces and nephews. I do the pull my finger thing.
Nice.
Fart gun.
Cool.
You ever do the fart gun?
I've heard the fart gun
And I
before.
also do the fart grenade. I go, and then fart.
Nice. That's awesome.
They love that, but then sometimes they want it on demand, and I'm like, I need a few minutes, guys.
You're like, I'm not a machine, okay?
And I don't want to shit my pants.
Yeah.
So when I
Force
know
too many out.
when I know I have to fart and I can ration it out, it makes it seem like it's like magic. You just
you are
make
a
it seem
magician.
like I can fart on command, and then when I don't have any left, I'm like, sorry.
You got to get yourself a fart machine.
I don't want to do it
A
anymore.
little pocket fart machine. And then we can do it anytime you want with your niece and nephews.
The chamber is empty.
Can you tell when you fart whether it's going to smell or not? Just
I usually can.
I
Yeah.
just assume mine always smell. I just don't even
I feel like the
I don't play that
silent
game. I'm like,
ones.
they're just going to smell.
If it's silent and it comes out really warm feeling, it will.
Moist.
Yeah, it
When it's
will
like-
be very stinky. But if it's just really loud and dry, I feel like it's just loud. It's not as stinky.
What about this one?
That one might just be air, but I feel like when it's hot.
Yeah.
The worst is when it's hot and in the shower. I feel like it's really
mine just
pungent.
smell. I'm like, it's just coming from your asshole. It's going to smell. Even if it doesn't
most
have
of them smell, but some of them are just.
I've never had a like a silent or a kind of fart where it's just been like, no odor. I don't think it's ever happened to
I have
me.
loud ones that just there's noise but no.
Like
it's all bark and no bite.
Every decibel sound, like low, high, whatever, and in between, they all stink.
I was telling David before we started that in the mornings I fart, just, and I can, sometimes they're just so long, and there was a little while there where I was recording them, and I don't have them anymore because it was so long ago, and I lost my phone.
Like Paul Blart.
It was
Paul
like,
Flart.
It was like,
or is it like this? Oh, there's more.
yeah, and they ended like that too. Is that from Step Brothers?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Boop. That part at the end is my favorite.
The end is usually like
if I were to dissect that fart we just listened to, I'd say the first part of it is not smelly. It's that end part. You could tell it's a little bit damp, and so it's stinky. Like I honestly think that you can tell.
Well, I mean, I can't. I just assume mine always smell. I don't stick around long enough.
This isn't all my voice memos.
I mean, I've been fartier recently. Like, I feel like my Lyme disease is taped. Like, there was almost a year where I was barely farting, but I feel like I got my farts back.
You farted twice in my office last week.
Oh yeah. No, I've got my. That was twice that I told you.
Like, I farted, and then it sounded like someone was cracking their ankle.
No, that was twice that I told you. It was maybe like 5 times.
Oh, kidding.
Yeah.
The ones that I did, no one ever thought they were real because they were so long and like they seemed so intentional.
Have you followed the security guard who got fired for recording all his farts?
No, but I love him.
He's literally my hero. He got caught I think his Instagram's Paul Flart.
Yeah, it's pretty funny.
Yeah, Paul Flart.
And he got.
Why would he? He was recording himself. He made these like.
He basically recorded himself every time he was at work farting.
Yeah, check out the Paul Flirt on Instagram.
He looks like a Paul Flart.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But
it's
like,
it's a video recording of his face.
It's a good feed. It's a really good feed. His facial expressions are like Oscar award winning.
But he did it so often at work that they ended up firing him.
Yeah.
Because they probably added up all the time.
Oh yeah. No, he made like a mega mix. He made like
the mega mix you can like find on YouTube. It's like 3 minutes of him just farting for over a year,
faces.
and you could like see his hair grows out, and he gets a haircut.
Yeah.
And
he looks like he's looking at you like, "Fuck you, I'm farting."
Yeah, totally. He's like, "What are you gonna do about that? What's happening?"
I have a good pee story. Is that in your purview?
I mean, sure. Just
as long as it's funny.
Yeah. Throw it in there.
It might not. You might want to cut it out.
You could tell it when if it's
I used to.
If you bore us, it'll be on the cutting room floor.
Every Thursday night, I would take the train home with a friend of mine from this gig, and every time we were on the train, something crazy would there would be some crazy thing. So we see this couple standing on the subway platform, and they just looked like an odd couple. It was like a young Latin guy and like an older middle-aged woman. And they just didn't. I was just looking at them and she was drunk. I was like, how'd those two wind up?
It sounds like me and Gerald.
It does actually. Holy shit, that sounds exactly like it. Probably was Ellen and Gerald.
It was an odd couple, and she was wasted, and he was kind of holding her up.
Yep,
and
still sounds like Ellen.
They get on the train and they're sitting right across from us, and she was progressively getting a little more and more fucked up, it was like kicking in or whatever.
Yeah.
And then she kind of was sleeping in his lap. And so her head is in his lap, his bag is on the floor in front of him. All of a sudden, it's like it's coming together. I see, it looked like crystal clear spring water leaking off the side of the seat. So she was, her ass was facing, the door where you have that little divider thing, and she's peeing, and it's filled up both seats so much that that it's pouring over the side, and there's
Oh,
a stream
no.
of it going towards this guy's bag, and we're just looking at him, and he's looking at us, and he goes, "What should I do?"
Like, pick
and I
the
go,
bag up,
"Pick up your bag right now." And he picked up the bag, and she was just passed out, and she had peed everywhere, so there was pee all over the floor of the subway car.
Christ.
And no one, besides me and my friend and him, everyone else was just in their phones and like trying not to pretend that it wasn't happening. So we were like, what the hell should we do? So I was like, we got to tell the conductor, So I went out and I said, hey man, you got to call an ambulance. This woman has like passed out. So he was like a new driver or something. He didn't know what to do. He's like, I don't know. And then there just happened
manual about.
There happened to be a guy standing on the platform, and he goes, all right. And he comes in. They got the cops in there, and they got her out. And the cop, I don't think the cop realized he reached on her earring had fallen off.
No.
He reached onto the seat and just grabbed it.
Ugh.
And I was like, listen, you guys know that there's pee everywhere, right? They were just going to let the car go. Like, they were just about to let everyone go. I said, there's pee. That's pee everywhere.
Ugh.
And the woman goes, oh, all right. There was like another, she goes, all right, we got to empty the car out. So they emptied everybody out and, put it on lockdown.
Yeah.
And then they just continued the train. Like, we all had to, everyone was mad at us, But the moral,
a little piss.
it was crazy, because the moral of the story for me is that any liquid you see on the subway, assume is urine.
Yeah.
Because it looked like it was like you would have drank it, it was like crystal clear.
Oh my God.
And they just let it sit there.
I like any suspicious liquid. I'm like, oh, that's some kind of bodily fluid.
Yeah.
I don't ever think it's
100%.
like, I don't think it's coffee. I don't think it's like Gatorade.
No, if it looked like coffee, it'd probably be shit water too.
Yeah, I just assume everything's like comes out some hole.
Yeah.
So an ambulance came and took her away, and then we were talking to the guy afterwards, because he wound up going in the same he was still going in the same direction of us, we said, well, who is she? He goes, I have no idea. He had gotten on the train
fuck,
much further back, and she was wasted. So she was like, I'm trying to get to,
you're my new boyfriend,
Atlantic Terminal. And so he felt he was just trying to make sure she was safe. And like that she wasn't going to fall into the tracks.
Wow.
And he said she wasn't that drunk when I first met her, and she just got worse and worse as it went on.
Oh my
And
God.
and I didn't know what to do, because she was so bad.
Yeah, that's the worst.
It was kind of like funny and then sad.
Yeah,
at the
you
same
try to do the
time.
good thing and the right thing, and then it's just like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Captain Save-A-Ho.
I always wonder what her morning must have been like the next day. Like, she must not have remembered any of that.
She's like, how did I get home?
Yeah.
Why am I in the hospital?
Why am I drenched in urine?
Yeah.
I have a story that has nothing to do with poo, pee, or anything, but I'm going to do the very cliff note. But Chris Harder and I saved a girl from basically being raped at House of Yes. She was that wasted. She couldn't do anything. She lost her coat, her keys, everything. And finally, the only thing she had on her was her phone. And so we called some kind of roommate of hers, and we figured out where she lived. And Chris Harder and I drove her to her house, because I was even afraid to put her in a car.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, like,
At the House of Yes?
Yeah.
The House of Consent?
She got shit-faced, where she could barely tell her name, and she was like one of those where she was like nodding off, and then she'd like wake up like, "Rah!" And you're like,
full of energy.
whoa. Yeah, and her name was Eugenie. And I was
Eugenie.
like, the
Oh my
next day,
God.
I was like, she's not going to remember any of this. But why I'm saying she almost got raped is literally we're walking out to try to see, like, let's just get her outside. And these 4 guys came up to her and they were like, hey, how you doing? And like
shit.
circled around her. And I was like, oh my, they saw her. Like,
Right.
and I was like, no, we got to make sure she's
Oh my
protected.
God.
They're like, ding.
Yeah.
Over there. That's fucked up.
You have a
Jesus.
rainbow on your eyebrow right now, and it looks beautiful.
Oh, you
My
do.
eyebrow? Oh,
Yeah.
I was like, is there glitter? What?
No, it's like a rainbow
You look like you
light.
just
It's really
stepped
pretty.
out of the House of Yes.
Right,
Yeah,
right.
let me take a picture. You look beautiful.
So,
Look at me, honey.
unless there's any other stories.
I'm racking my
Should we get
brain
into-
for other
Look at
stories.
that rainbow.
Oh, nice. There we go.
Isn't that pretty?
Insane.
Let me see it.
It's so pretty.
Oh, the picture looks
Do we
beautiful.
have a segment.
Yes, we are done interviewing you. We're going to our Let's Get Shitty segment.
And this is a segment that's basically you can bitch about things. Doesn't have
complain.
Doesn't have to be poop related.
Oh.
But it could be any and all things that's bugging you.
Our comedy
stuck in your craw.
podcast, and we're just going to talk about shitty things in our life.
So here we go.
We're going to go to a
Ladies
dark-
and gentlemen, it's now time for Let's Get Shitty.
Yes, Let's Get Shitty. One of my favorite segments of the show.
It is, literally.
So, Greg, do you have anything to get shitty about?
So much to complain about. No, my biggest complaint in this city is people's behavior on the subway.
It's a big one.
We've complained about that before.
Drives me bananas. So I ride a Vespa because of it, because I can't do it, and it's just this whole thing of people being. It's not just that they're down on their phones, because they're down. If they weren't down on their phones, they'd be down in their books or they'd be down in their newspapers. But I don't know. It's just like when you're on the fucking subway in the morning or in the afternoon or when it's crowded, you can't be checked out. You have to be checked in. We're all in the train together. So when the door opens and someone just is standing there and they don't move, or when the backpack on the back,
it's like punching everybody in the head, the face.
I almost get into fights on the subway because I'm like, hey, we're all crammed in here. Can you just move your bag? And
hold your bag.
Hold it. Like
work together as a community.
Yeah. It's like just look up when the doors open. Just look up, because you might have to move in a little bit. Yeah. So when I have to push past people, it just angers me.
There's no we're all in this together mentality on the subway. It's all for one. It's like literally like every man for himself.
Yeah. And then, the door opens. There's someone staying there because they got that spot. And then you're like, excuse me. And then they don't want to move.
Yeah.
So then
I push them.
Yeah, I push them too, because I'll push an old lady out of the way because it's like, listen, the door opens, step the fuck out of my way, let me out, and then come back in. If you're standing there, I just walk right into you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when there's all that space between the seats and they're just hanging out
on the
by
edges.
the doors.
Yeah.
And it's like,
It drives me
we got to
fucking
get in
crazy.
there.
Yeah.
Move in, people.
It really pisses me off.
Yeah.
And then
that's a big gripe.
Yeah.
I mean, Dave and I have been living in New York for about the same period of time, 23 years. Yeah. And I literally will just plow right through people. I just don't give a shit anymore.
Yeah. I like to, when the door opens and there's people standing there, I like to yell out what the subway guys say, let them off.
Yeah.
I just look
That's
them
a
right
good
in the
one.
eye, go, let them off. And they just, but the thing is that like, you shouldn't have to be told that.
No.
It's just
because people, they're selfish.
normal. It's like when you open a door, if someone's coming out, you let them out first.
Yes.
It's just, you don't.
And if you're on an escalator, you stand on the right, you walk on the left.
God.
Yeah, it's infuriating. I mean, I just complained about a subway thing last episode about this woman that are holding a door for like her friend with her baby carriage, like a full 30-40 seconds.
No.
And I'm like, are you out of your mind?
Selfish.
Like, this is not like you're not hailing a cab and just like.
I'll help you carry your baby up and down
even
the stairs.
hailing a cab. Like all of these Ubers, they will literally just sit there in the middle of the street, and it's like, come on, people, no, pull off to the side somewhere.
But then on the flip side of that, I have some real assholes on when I'm on the scooter. You said you're at a motorcycle,
Yeah, so it doesn't matter if it's like public transportation or you're driving yourself.
Yeah.
People are animals.
I flip flop from like, I can't believe this person's driving this way, or like the subway. Then it's like, I get my bike. I'm like, who the fuck are these people just running into the middle of the road?
Yeah.
I mean, New York's kind of wild in that sense still, where it's just like no one gives a shit.
Yeah.
I get it.
I had a cab like 2 nights ago. It's riding up my ass. I'm on a scooter. I'm going like almost 40 miles an hour, like with traffic on like 2nd Street by 2nd Avenue. So I'm not going slow. I'm going, normal speed. The guy's up my ass honking. And then I'm like, what the fuck? And then he goes around me, cuts me off so he can pull over and drop his fare off.
Yeah.
Nope.
That's the worst. That's happened to me so many times.
And then it's a red light. And I'm like, So you endanger my life so that you can get around me and
They
you
do
can
that
pull
with
over.
bicyclists too.
Oh yeah, I ride a bike
Like,
a lot this
I
year.
mean,
They don't give a fuck about
being on
bicyclists.
a motorbike or a push bike. They don't care,
You
and
know-
it's scary.
Also, this might not be a popular thing to say, but bicyclists are fucking assholes too.
Look,
those fuckers don't give a shit. And I've had
because they weave in and out.
I've had more incidences with bikes on my scooter than I have with cars.
Yeah.
bikes are kind of like, yeah. I mean, I ride a bike a lot, but I try to like obey the rules and be normal.
I mean, blow
Yeah.
through the light. I get it, but don't you got that bike lane. Don't cut me off.
Yeah.
And then flip me off for not getting out of your way, and and also like bikes, get some signals and get some mirrors.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm about that shit. Yeah.
I
Be
don't
visible.
know. Yeah, why don't bikes have blinkers? No one does the hand signals.
Well, I bought my wife a gift. It's a helmet that has the blinkers in it.
Oh.
It's got a light in the front. It can either flash or stays on constant. It's got a red triangle in the back.
I'm into it.
And it's great. It's so high visibility. And I got the version that with the Bluetooth, you just have a little thing on your handlebars, and you can just, if you're going left, you just hit the left button.
Oh, that's
and there's a big
awesome.
arrow on the back of a giant arrow on the back of the helmet that's pointing left or right.
Aw.
That's
It's
great.
fantastic. And
I
it's like,
need that.
it trips people out because they're like, oh my God, it's like so smart.
Yeah.
So smart.
Yeah, so I have one of those, or I have the version without the turn signals, but she's got the one with the signals on it, and it's pretty tight.
Yeah. What about you, Dave?
Well, it's
shitty?
more recently. Our apartment building is being worked on, in general, because the management company for this place sucks, and think the housing department is basically like, you haven't done any of these things, so now. Like, it's just like everything's happening at once. Like, we've got some lights installed. I don't know if you noticed when you came in to the apartment, outside in the little foyer, like, it's so much brighter. It used to be like you couldn't even see putting your key into the door. Now it's like a floodlight in there, which I'm grateful for. And now they're actually starting to scrape off. They're repainting all our fire escapes. But today, we're recording this podcast, which some of you viewers, you may hear. I don't think you will, but if you do, hear like any kind of weird banging. That is the workers on my fire escape scraping off old metal and paint.
They stopped. I didn't even realize.
Yeah, they stopped. They did stop, but it's just like there's no warning. There's no, hey, just so you know, there's going to be some people like working like literally right in front of your face. So if you're getting chains in front of a window or something like that, or I don't know, but it's just like this building is. I'm grateful for the space that we have, but it really is just like getting anything done now. And it didn't used to always be this way. It used to be kind of like a little bit. The old super would come fix stuff. I haven't had screens in 3 of our windows for like the last 4 years. I don't know how. I'm like, who do I have to blow to get some fucking screens? I mean, like, I just want like a regular screen, and it's so simple. But I don't know. I guess they figure like, we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
So it's just like little dumb things, and my super is not very good at all. And it's, I don't know. It's kind of a first world problem, but really,
no, but it's
like little things.
And you don't want to go. You don't want to like. I know my landlord lives in the building with me, so I love her. She's like, it's like living with an aunt, but she also forgets shit.
Yeah.
So we've been waiting for months to get this. The kitchen or the bathroom sink, the handle's busted, so we're using a wrench.
Yep.
And it's like, I finally was like, please, you have to take care of this. She's like, oh, I'm sorry, I have to go down to the guy, and then there's always
seen a guy.
It's a Hasidic.
I gotta talk to this person.
Yeah, the Hasidic. I gotta get the thing from the guy, and then I called up the other guy, and he didn't come, and then I forgot. I'm like,
yeah.
Let me do it.
Sometimes I get to the point I just buy the thing and I'm like, I'm taking this off the rent.
Yeah, give them the receipt.
Yeah,
like,
I do that.
because like after a while I'm like, I can just do it myself, and it's just like fuck it. But
this is a nice place.
Thank
I
you.
want to do my Let's Get Shitty, but I got pee really bad.
Uh oh, pee again.
You gonna pee poop?
I probably will.
Poop.
Oh
Pee.
shit. So Ellen. Ellen's back from her second bathroom break,
Yeah.
and then it's.
I drank a lot of liquids.
I gotta pee too, but I'm gonna hold it for a while.
I couldn't.
When it hurts.
But it was mostly because there was a fart. I sat down on the bowl and I was like, yeah. So it was a loud in the bowl first. But But my Let's Get Shitty, I actually have a couple, but I'm zeroing it down onto my pee problem because, as I talked about in my check-in, I did not take my magnesium to help me sleep last night, and then I woke up a lot during my sleep 3 times to pee last night. 3.
Damn.
I think I have I need to go to a doctor with my bladder, kidney, whatever issue.
Urologist or something.
No, but yeah, something is wrong. 3 times in one night, peeing.
Man, it's
too much.
Too much.
I mean, I did eat some watermelon before I went to bed, but still.
When I was in camp, we had watermelon day. They would wake us up in the middle of the night to go pee.
Oh.
Because it was a big pee in the bed night when the kids ate a lot of watermelon.
Yeah, maybe it was a lot of watermelon, but I also blame it on the magnesium I didn't take because the magnesium makes me sleep like a big baby.
What is magnesium for? For sleeping?
Well, I use this is stuff called Pure Calm that I use. It's like a powdery mix. Looks like cocaine actually. It's this big vat of it, and you just mix with water. But I use it for post workout stuff, for muscle soreness.
Oh,
it's like if you have banana or something like that.
Right.
But it's just and it also for Ellen, but for me, it puts me to sleep.
Yeah,
I'm
magnesium helps you sleep, but it also brings more water to your colon, so you make big, huge, beautiful poo-poos.
Oh.
But there's 2 different magnesium I've been on because of all the Lyme disease supplements I've been taking. But the new magnesium, as I talked about in my check-in, has been making my cheeks really hot and making me feel a little not so good. So I just didn't take it last night to see if that was the problem. And my cheeks have not been hot today, so I think that is.
Hot cheeks.
But I didn't sleep very well, and I peed 3 times. And I just would like to say I peed twice during this podcast. I peed 3 times last night, and I'm going to probably pee 20 more times before I go to bed tonight, and I'm fucking sick of myself peeing. My Let's Get Shitty is my pee problem. My number 1 problem is my number 1 problem.
Hot cheeks, peeing.
I'm a mess.
You are a mess.
But I'm always a mess.
Oh my God, that's awesome.
Peeing on my toilet paper to wipe my asshole.
You ever have that dream where you're peeing and you're peeing into an ocean, and then you wake up and you're peeing?
I haven't peed the bed since I was a kid. Thankfully.
Yeah, I haven't done that, but I've definitely had a dream where I had to pee, and I'm just jump out of bed. You're bathroom.
It's happened to me a couple times.
Oh man, knock on wood, that's happened to me.
I haven't had it in a while, but I used to have these recurring dreams that I was masturbating in bed, and then I'd wake up and I'd be like, well, that's sad because I wish I was actually doing that, but right now I'm too tired to.
Right.
You're and all
I'm
of a sudden,
too lazy and tired.
All of a sudden, your hands are made of sweet potatoes or fucking they have oven mitts on them. Oh, with that awesome check-in, or Let's Get Shitty.
Let's flush.
Yeah, let's flush that away. Flushing all our problems away.
The problems away.
Feels better.
And with that, we move on to our next segment, which is news. We got a good one for you people today.
Yeah.
Breaking wind. Breaking news. And that's Ellen's whoopee cushion.
Oh, that was a good squeak.
Which is, this all kind of ties into a story because this happened. Well, this one I read came from Pittsburgh, but I think it just kind of picked up nationally.
Yeah, because I found out about it through the Howard Stern show. Robin Quivers talked about it on her news segment.
You sent me the link on Business Trader, which I couldn't get onto for some odd reason.
Oh.
And then I think TMZ also did this, but Pittsburgh doctor claims Antonio Brown repeatedly farted in his face, owes him $11,500. So I guess.
But the way that when I first heard it, it sounded like the doctor was suing this football player for farting in his face.
Yeah, that's when you first told me that. I kind of thought that too, but I think maybe he just happened to throw in the fart thing. But yes, this doctor in this area called Monroeville in Pittsburgh, Dr. Victor Prisk, had filed a lawsuit in Pennsylvania claiming that Brown owes him $11,500 in unpaid fees. Not only that, and according to the New York Post, Dr. Prisk claims Brown repeatedly farted in his face and laughed about it during his consultation, where he showed up 3 hours fucking late. Jesus Christ.
And
okay, I'm getting to that in a second. But my favorite part of this thing right here was like, so this Dr. Prisk was testing out Antonio Brown's body fat, and then Brown was just like letting it rip. Like,
I love that his last name is Brown.
Yeah, it kind of. This is a great story.
Is this guy a football player?
Yeah, he's a
Yes.
football player.
I
Which
don't
he's been.
follow this
I'm not a big football fan. I don't really know, but I mean, I have heard about this dude. He seems like an asshole in so many levels, but this just is like, so perfect for this show.
He's just a shitty human being.
So
I mean, I love to fart, and I don't even fart in yoga, let alone in a doctor's face.
yeah. Well, see, okay, so I have a clip of the actual incident.
Yes.
And there's a
That's why the story is so good.
There's we have actual audio. There's a video clip, but obviously you can't see that on a
That
podcast.
the doctor surreptitiously
No,
took.
one of his
supposedly
friends did,
Brown
recorded.
brought his friend to the doctor's visit and Snapchat the whole thing, so the video was saved.
I find in favor of the plaintiff.
Yeah, and I mean, so it's just so fucking ridiculous. So I have the audio. I'll get to that in 1 second. But the doctor said, "quote It seemed just childish to me." "Quote I'm a doctor, and this man is farting in my face." Now, with that said, before I play his clip, he's not actually farting in his face, but
Yeah, it's
still,
not ass to face.
It's not ass to face, but it's still like, the doctor's sort of sitting, running this tool for body fat over this athlete who's standing, and he's just kind of like farting like in the room. So
That's
it's still
farting in someone's face.
I mean,
if you're
it's
standing in
close
front of
enough.
them, looking at them, farting, you're farting in my face.
It's close enough. I mean, I thought it was like literally.
It's like he's farting, but the doctor's face is about a foot from his belly.
I get it. When you first said it, I imagined he was bent over
Yes,
and the guy's
that's what I
ass was
thought,
in
yeah.
his face.
That's what I thought.
But he meant it colloquially,
or from
not
but
literally.
still, exactly,
But
not
still.
literally, but still, it's again. That's,
Fuck that
I'd be
shit.
pissed.
Bullshit.
So this is the clip of Antonio Brown farting with his doctor. I had to pull up some audio here, so hopefully you can hear this.
Let's see here. Damn, my bad, dog. I didn't even get that when you're so lean there. It's pretty freaking low. Even the bodybuilders, this is pretty freaking low. My bad. Damn, no, shit.
I mean, what a dick.
I mean,
And I love how he's like, I love how the doctor's just trying
You have to
play-
see the video because the guy's. It's obvious he's pushing these farts out because
Right.
he's laughing
Right.
so hard.
Yeah. And
He
then
thinks
the
it's
doctor,
hilarious.
which it's hard to hear in the audio because the audio was so low when I got it, but the doctor's like, oh, this like basically like you have no body fat. It's kind of hard to get down here.
Right.
And then he's like just trying to play off the first fart, and then all of a sudden he lets out the huge one at the end.
So if he had paid the doctor the $11,000 that he owes him, then I would probably be like, well, it's kind of funny.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
exactly.
childish, but if I
Yeah.
were the doctor, I would have either said something or farted back.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's
But
just
the
like,
fact that he owes him $11,000, that that's not going to
and for a football player, $11,000 might as well be $11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's nothing.
That's like nothing. So yeah, Antonio Brown's kind of a piece of shit, but we had to play that clip. We had to talk about that story because it leads right into our whole world here on shooting the shit.
News on farts and poops is
Endless.
never ending.
It's endless.
It's so vast.
I have so many stories like just saved.
Oh,
that
yeah.
we haven't got to.
We could
yet,
do a
so.
whole episode just on the news.
Yeah.
You should, because
There's tons of news stories about farts and poops.
yeah.
So, but with that, Greg Dubin, thank you so much for coming on the
Yes!
show.
Thank you guys for having me. This
Yeah.
was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
I could do it. I mean, I could stick around all night.
Well, only if you keep shitting your pants.
I mean, I'm sure I could probably come back biannually.
right.
with a new story.
Yeah, the new one.
Next time
So-
you get a Philly, give us a call.
Where can we find you?
My website is dubinmagic.com. DUBINMAGIC. Same for my Instagram.
Excellent.
And don't Facebook me.
Yeah, Facebook.
I mean, you guys can, but it's my name, Greg
Yeah.
Dubin.
All right.
So
Well, look out for Greg out there in the New York City
out there,
area
I'll
and
blow
far
your fucking
beyond.
mind.
Exactly. And maybe he'll tell you some other shit stories.
He does this amazing magic trick where he eats things and it turns into poop.
Ta-da.
Working on it for a year.
But again, thanks again for coming in.
Oh, thank
and
you.
Until next time, people.
Happy pooping and toot toot toot.
Bye.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen. You can listen to us on platforms like iTunes, Google Play, SoundCloud, Spotify, Stitcher, and even YouTube. Please download, rate, review, and subscribe to any and all of those places. And tell all your friends about us.
For more about Shooting the Shit with Dave and Ellen, you can check us out at heypoopypodcast.com. For questions, product reviews, information, please email us at heypoopypodcast@gmail.com. And you can see us on Instagram at heypoopypodcast.
Theme song by Jordan Pearlson. Hey, Poopy.
Oh, that one's gross.
Very wet.
Oh, my God. Okay.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Man, I'm just, trying to find a place with like-minded people to talk about like-minded things about me, about poop and stuff.
Hey Poopy, how you doing? Hey Poopy, how you doing?
Oh man, what's this right here? Is this a podcast about poop?